106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Tuesday, June 17th. It is Double Impact. I'm your host, Gabe. It's going to be a very... Look what the green screen is doing to my green hat. I guess I can't wear a green hat on this show. It's such a cool hat, too. It's such an amazingly cool hat. Oh, well, we'll go with a gray hat. Okay. Never mind. Look at this. It's like a mint green with a neon pink Padres logo. I love this hat. And I guess I can't wear it on the show. It disappears. Guys, it's going to be a very interesting show. Jericho will be here soon. I hope Jericho sent the fuck. I'll send him the link. Was he not sent the link? Copy, paste. Okay, but anyways, it's Double Impact. I'm your host, Gabe. Guys, today is the 31st anniversary of the slow speed chase through Los Angeles of O.J. Simpson. Hold on, I'm sending Jericho the link in case he doesn't have it. Link to the show. Send. Okay. Yeah, it's the 31st anniversary of O.J. Orenthal J. Simpson driving slow speed chase through Los Angeles with his friend A.C. Cowlings. Now, I do wonder, since he was O.J. and he was cool and he was famous, he was the juice is loose. He's doing Hertz rent-a-car commercials. He's rushing for 2,000 yards with the Buffalo Bills. He's just a star. Does that mean that is that why AC Cowlings went by AC? It's like he's OJ, and I don't want to be like my cool friend, so now I'm AC. So if I hung out with OJ Simpson, I was his age, and we were hanging out, would I be G-A-L Taib? I don't know. But welcome in, everyone. Hit the like, hit the share. There's already a question out here. Shadow, does the Bible verse "Don't put evil before your eyes" mean it's wrong to sow evil in art? You asked me this before, to show evil in art. No, there's evil in the Bible. There's evil in the story of the Bible. It's the glorification of evil. If you mention that evil exists and that it is in fact evil and we must stop it, eradicate it, we must oppose it, there's nothing wrong with mentioning evil, that it exists. If you're having fun with it and glorifying evil, yes. And that's going to bring us to tonight's movie that we were supposed to review, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes, because I was appalled at this movie. Now, I'd seen this movie once before, like 4 or 5 years ago, but I think I was half asleep, falling asleep on the couch late at night. I went through this thing where I wanted to catch up on the 80s movies. I want to catch up on movies in general. I think this was during the lockdown. I watched every Van Damme movie that exists except for one. It's a Belgian movie where he helps kids steal, like basically to pass the SAT or whatever the equivalent is in Belgium. That's called Heist School. And but I was watching all kinds of movies and I'd never seen the 80s classics. Welcome, Jericho. How you doing, friend?
You know what? You know why I picked the bar background? Because this movie made me want to drink.
I text you this afternoon. I don't even want to review this movie. I was explaining to the audience. Let me explain to you and them this thing I was about to say. During the lockdown, people stayed home a lot. I vacationed a ton during the lockdown. Like I took advantage of the low crowds. I went to the Grand Canyon. I went to Vegas. I went to Colorado. I went all over. But I did watch a lot of movies because everyone did during the lockdown. And I watched every Van Damme movie that exists except for Heist School, a Belgian movie where he helps kids steal the answers to like the Belgian SAT. Ooh. That's the only Van Damme movie I've never seen. I got it on DVD. My son, I can watch it now. My son bought me the DVD, but remember, I didn't have a DVD player until like 6 months ago.
Yeah, but when you say it like that, it makes it sound like you didn't have an opportunity to have a DVD player.
No, I just couldn't buy one because I wanted to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox that also played DVDs and Blu-rays, but I didn't want to buy one. I did want to buy one, but I didn't, and I went back and forth for years. Long story short, I have a DVD player. I can now watch High School. But another thing I got into during the lockdown of movies was 80s movies, the 80s comedies. I'm not a big comedy guy because comedies are usually too dirty, too filthy. I don't like that. So I watched all the Corey movies. There's Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. They were in like 5 or 6 movies together. And I watched Weird Science. I watched the movie that we're supposed to review tonight, but I think I was half asleep on the couch and didn't watch it because I was watching it yesterday, and I'm like, what the F am I watching? It's so inappropriate, this movie. So, like, poorly written, and like I don't know what this movie is. I don't know who this movie is for. But at one point, the girl they bring to life, I don't even remember her name. Is it Lisa?
Yeah, Lisa.
She's kissing the computer nerd. And like kissing him, like sucking his lip, like kissing him real good.
Yeah.
And I said, pull the emergency brake. I'm like, wait a minute. Hey, Grok, how old were the 3 principal actors when they filmed this movie?
Hey, Grok. You're not busy.
Hey, Grok, if you're not doing anything, what the fuck am I watching here in this 80s PG-13? Grok's like, Andrew McCarthy was 16. The other kid, I forget his name, was 15. And the woman that was sucking his face off was 24 when they filmed it. Why? Who wants to know? And I said to myself, that sounds like the Hollywood I know. I don't like this movie. This is despicable. Now, I had seen this movie before, like I said, but I think I saw it in and out of half asleep on a couch. I got through about 3/4 of it last night. And I turned it off. This movie is up there with Madam Web and Deadpool for me. This movie is banned from my house.
Yeah, this movie was, I mean, we can't not talk about it because you're not going to put me through that hour and 29 minutes for nothing. But that movie, like if you could put that movie into the form of some kind of food, so you had a bowl of Weird Science or a bowl of fresh dog shit to where like it's in the morning, it's still steaming, and you had to eat one of them, I picked the fresh dog shit because this movie was... Like, you remember the Nuremberg trials?
Oh,
like,
there
needs to be the Weird Science trials because this shit was an atrocity. It was a crime perpetrated against everybody who saw it. If it were a 24-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl, there would be pitchforks and mobs outside of the studio. Like the police would have to be there to keep the mob from tearing this dude apart, literally. How long was that party scene? The party scene was like 20 minutes long. So the girl materializes and then cut to, we're at a party? She wants to go to a party? And
sounds about right.
Man, this shit... I think the same people who wrote No Holds Barred were going from their hotel room to the hotel room with the people who wrote this. Back and forth.
They split a 5-gallon bucket of cocaine.
Yeah, because this movie, and I don't know how, maybe all the people who thought this movie was super nostalgic, maybe they suffered some amnesia, maybe they had a head injury, and they only remembered the panning from Kelly LeBrock's feet to her face with the famous blue underwear and the cropped shirt.
She
Maybe
looks
they
outstanding,
blocked.
you know.
Maybe they blocked the rest of this movie from their memory. But this needs to be removed from the annals of 80s movies greats.
I like when they went to the ethnic bar, a lot of black guys there, and then Andrew McCarthy. Now I don't blame him; he was only 16 when they filmed this. He was doing his best Al Jolson.
Now he was doing the voice.
Hey,
if you
baby,
close your eyes,
yeah, you what, baby? It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
if you close your eyes, you think that was a little skinny black pimp. Now find me the nightclub that has young people, young white people, all the way up to old black people.
Right.
And then, I mean, hey, you want to see some diversity? There you go. That club had everybody. It had blues and then something else playing. The kids start drinking, and he literally turns into a black pimp. Shit, you know what I'm saying? That bitch. This little 16-year-old kid was talking like that.
Yeah.
It was wild.
There was a funny line in that scene where the super Italian guy calls him a malacca. He tells Kelly LeBron, "What are you doing here with this malacca?" And then Andrew McCarthy ends up telling him, "Well, what can I say? She's got a thing for malaccas." And
that endeared everybody to him. Everybody starts laughing. You're all right, kid.
I don't know what malacca means, but I know it's Italian for like jackass, basically. So,
man, there were 75-year-old black people at this club.
Hey, who the black guy that talk like that? What movie is he from?
He was from Action Jackson. Hey, take it easy on the dough. It was that guy.
Right.
He's in a shitload of movies where you need this, well-meaning, jovial, old black guy to sit behind a desk and check you into somewhere.
Right.
Oh, hey, love it, man. I love it. But I don't understand how you get this variety of people in this club. I mean, they nailed every demographic, all the way up to the elderly black folk. His parents. Now, I think we see a lot of the 50s, very conservative, old school parents, because this movie was 30 years after 1955.
Right.
So it'd be like now going back to the 90s. But we're talking the 50s. So your parents were born, in the 40s, early 40s, maybe the late 30s. So damn it, turn down that music. Oh, Harold, don't hurt him, Harold. Oh man, that scene.
Terrible.
Now check this out. This grown woman, imagine this. Imagine a grown woman. I'm not even going to tell it to the parents to imagine a grown man coming to pick up your 16-year-old daughter, because that guy's going to get shot on the porch. Right. But imagine your son, 16 years old, a 20-something-year-old woman comes to your house and tells you, I'm going to take your son to a party to do drugs. We're going to do coke, and there's nothing you can do about it. He deserves this. He needs this.
Yeah.
What? It would be like trying to pull a mountain lion off a carcass, trying to peel my wife off of this chick and not rip her hair out from the roots. What are you talking about? But somehow she leaves the house with their 16-year-old son to go to a party and do drugs. And they're left screaming. It was so stupid.
It's weird as hell. Hold on a sec. Let me take care of the super chat. Christian Delhome's Vinyl Revival for $5 Canadian. Nobody knows what Canadian dollars are in the exchange rate to American. I might be a millionaire currently, Cherico.
You might be, man.
I might be a newly minted millionaire. Thank you for that. Shout out to my favorite Californian hoser. We're both Californians. Which of us do you mean?
Hoser,
send a super. What's the Canadian accent? They say sorry and they say a boot.
Ooh, sorry. Sorry about that.
That you could be sorry a boot.
A boot.
Yeah. But whenever you send in a super chat, you get the Van Damme booty, whether you like it or not. Here you go.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
Oh, and he comes back, Christian Delhomme, with a right and then a left. Vinyl Revival. Malaka is Greek for jerker or crook.
Mm.
Well, now I know, and now you know more about this.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
Hey, shout out to Christian. He's a long time supporter of mine. So good to see you, man. You hoser.
Thank you. Yeah, but
apologies to Canada if you guys saw this movie up there, because we did export this from
now
Hollywood.
You know what's
Sorry about that.
Astonishing to me about this movie? I saw his name at the beginning, John Hughes.
This is John Hughes.
Wrote and direct.
Hmm.
We're talking Planes, Trains, Automobiles, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Home Run, Home Run, Home Run, Grand Slam, Home Run. Then this movie?
Can't win them all.
What?
Can't win them all.
I guess.
He must have had some hits, before this, obviously, to allow him back into Hollywood again after this.
I don't know.
Because I don't know who the fuck watched this and was like, John Hughes, bad, great.
Yeah. But again, it's near Chicago. So many of these movies are Chicago. He's from Chicago. I like that about the guy. He keeps it in his home area. And again, this is like a spiritual cousin of like a Home Alone. What would happen if you get left home alone for Christmas and you're like, I'm a grown-up and I'm defending the home from the wet bandits and blah, blah, blah. And it's like this fantasy fairy tale. And like, oh, you're these loser high school guys. And you can't get any girlfriends. What if we were like Dr. Frankenstein? We created our own woman and blah, blah, blah. So it's like these weird Chicago teenage fairy tale. Isn't he also Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Isn't that also John Hughes? Or am I giving him too many?
No, it might be. I mean, he has so many hits in the 80s
that
deserve to be there. All those other movies deserve to be in that time capsule to be opened 100 years from now. This piece of shit, nah, man, I don't know what the fuck this was.
This is the one.
So
this is just the one that was like, hey,
But this is really bad, though. This isn't, it was all right. This is like you would take the script to this movie, you would tear it into strips and put it at the bottom of your bird's cage for it to be shit on. Because that's all it's good for. This movie was fucking terrible. And not terrible like Under Siege 2 dark territory. You go into it thinking that, knowing that's a piece of shit. This was supposed to be Goonies. This was supposed to be an 80s home run John Hughes classic. This is quite the opposite.
He's like, who's the fat Persian rapper? Khaled, DJ Khaled. All he does is win, John Hughes.
Yeah.
All he does is win no matter what. And this was not a win. This was a
man. This movie is so fucking dumb. And they had to be. I know a lot of things can be shoved into, but it was the 80s closet. But you're a 24-year-old chick making out with a 15-year-old. There's no state in the union. I know there's some that are 16.
Kelly LeBrock.
What the fuck?
Kelly LeBrock was once married to Steven Seagal.
She was for years, for like 10 years.
This movie rivals the worst Steven Seagal movies for its badness.
Yeah, for sure. This movie is a fucking atrocity. And it had the kid, the kids, you say they're loser kids, and I guess, but there was only one of them, the one that she tongued down. He was the only loser. The other kid, he was pretty confident. But he was macking on Lisa. He was at the bar drinking his shit. I noticed that. I was like, he's not that much of a nerd. He was more like the Styles to what's the kid's name? Alex in Teen Wolf. He was the friend who's always, hey man, let's go do this. Let's break the rules. And he's like, oh, I don't know. Like he was that kid. So he wasn't really that nerdy. But that's the least of our worries. Even if they nailed that, this movie is fucking shitty fucking diaper.
I do wonder about this genre of movie. This is right there with American Pie and Porky's, and it's like high schooler dudes trying to get laid is like the premise of these movies. This is not my cup of tea. This is not my thimble of tea. They're
usually trying to get laid by other high school kids, not a 24-year-old woman. Like what the fuck? And she's magic. She can change their license plate. She can make them fucking
just gave them
cards.
Awesome cars. Remember, they had the Bel Air and then they had the Porsche.
And then the Ferrari. Like, what the fuck? Is she a genie or some computer bitch that you made that I'm not even sure what she's for? And then it cuts to this movie's like being drunk, and then you're snapping out of your unconsciousness throughout the night, and then you're like, whoa, I'm back fucked up. Because like they make her and then they're at a bar. What the fuck? And then they want to party. And then you got, again, Robert Downey Jr. He was in this, a young Robert Downey. Come on, you're talking St. Elmo's Fire. He's part of that super class of 80s actors, Emilio Estevez and Molly Ringwald. And all of them turn out to be.
Weren't they called like the Rat Pack or no, the Brat Pack?
Brat Pack. Yeah, the Brat Pack. You got some heavy hitters. John Hughes. This is post fucking some heaters, John Hughes. So of course he can get a great cast together.
Right.
And it was still horse shit. Him and his buddy played the classic 80s. They're supposed to be in high school, but they look 35. Jock assholes. Well, they're not jocks, but they're just like the assholes, the pretty boy dickheads who pick on him. So there's a scene in the mall. Who gives a fuck about going in order? There's a scene in the mall again, and then there are nuggets here. All right, we're sifting through feces. Hey, look, I found one. All right, there's nuggets in here. The mall, the greatest place on earth if you were between the ages of 12 and 18 in the 80s. The mall was it. That's where you wanted to be seen.
You had to be there to understand what the mall was in American culture in the 80s.
Like you're getting dressed up, not like Sunday best, but you're putting on your coolest clothes. Your parents, if you drive, you're pulling up, have your parents drop you off around the block. The mall was it. So they're at the mall and they take a slushie. The nerds are on the lower level and the cool kids are up on the top level. So they take the lid off their slushie and they pour it on them. And I'm like, did you have a cup of a slushie or did you have a 5-gallon bucket?
Yeah.
Because what they poured on those dudes was like a 5-gallon bucket's worth of fucking.
I'm not proud of this, but I actually dumped something on someone from high up once. I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't shoplift. I didn't do bad kid stuff.
You were a bad kid that day.
But an 8th grade trip to Disneyland. So 8th grade for me would have been 92, I think. The June of 1992, a scant 33 years ago. I was at beautiful Disneyland, California, in Anaheim, California. And we were riding the sky gondolas. So those buckets that are on the big wire and you're like 100 feet up and you go through the park. Me and my buddy Vince Cowett and Daryl Soriano, I'm using your names. If I'm going down for this, so are you. And we were going through the park and giving like a little, I think they were trying to start a music career for him or something. Alfonso Ribeiro Carlton from the Fresh Prince was there in a big leather jacket. He was singing like an R&B or hip hop song on a little stage and there were people around. I think maybe he was getting a record deal with Disney. I don't know why he was there, but he was singing. And we had drinks. And someone dropped ice on him from the sky gondola. Someone did. Not saying it was me. Just saying someone did that. And it was terrible.
Little bastards.
It was terrible. They dropped like 3 ice cubes and it was not fun.
We've seen people, maybe you were part of it, or if you weren't, you've seen people drop shit from the ski lift. Because the closest one to us, our 8th grade trip was usually, or maybe not the 8th grade trip, but we'd always go to the boardwalk. So it's like the junior high day. There's all these kids from other junior high schools. Probably the worst fucking day for a worker at these places ever is to have it full of junior high kids. But that's where we would go. And for sure, somebody was going to throw something. But you wait till you're close enough to get dropped off to where you can get off in time and fucking take off and hopefully not run into those people later. But that shit was fun. And that would have been June of 1994 for me.
Wow.
Great
June of 94. It's June now. And we'll get to this. But I like this comment. New Age Leper says he was in the 16th grade in 1992.
I don't think
that to me sounds like a senior in college.
Hey, we'll talk to you after the show, man. But there's no
16. Oh man, here come the 16th graders. By the way, did you know? Speaking of June, it's a great time of year. It is the 31st anniversary of Orenthal J. Simpson.
Yeah,
on the 405 freeway, and I think the 101 and the 5, every freeway in Los Angeles.
Yep.
Very slowly in the white Ford Bronco, driven by A.C. Cowlings, who I don't know who that is. Friend. Now, here's what I want to know, what I've always wondered, because I think I'm onto something. You're a civilian compared to OJ, right? But you're his boy. You're hanging out. You're getting drinks. You're going to clubs. And you're picking up his rebounds. You're picking up the extra women that he doesn't want. You know, you're eating steaks. He's footing the bill. You're flying around the world. OJ's your boy. But he's status way above you. And your name is, like Alfred Christopher Cowlings. I don't know what AC Cowlings' real name is. And you're like, OJ, AC, OJ. So I'm like, if I was friends with OJ, I'm Gabriel Abdul, would I just be G-A-L Taib? Would I just go, like, if you roll with OJ, you just go with your initials now? It's like, hey, it's what we do, like it's our thing.
Yeah, GE, that's it.
So, okay.
You're General Electric.
That's GA. My middle name is A because it's OJ is Orenthal J. Simpson. So the J is the middle name.
Just for rolling off the tongue purposes, we're going to call you GE.
Yeah, because GA, that doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
Actually, Orenthal, it's GAE.
No, just
GAL
GE.
Taib, OJ Simpson. Yeah.
No,
I wonder why is it the J names that work? CJ, BJ, AJ, OJ, DJ.
It just works.
There's a lot
But-
of J's that just work.
How many cop cars did he have behind him that day? All of them?
He had a lot. LA's finest.
I remember I was watching a TV show. All of a sudden, it cuts away to breaking news, and it shows that infamous picture of
Right.
seriously, 20 cop cars at least behind him. 20 cop cars driving like 45 miles an hour on the freeway like a piece of shit. And then they get him, and then the whole OJ trial storm begins, and it was on if you had a piece of if news had anything to do with your show, you talked about OJ. Of course, sports because of his football career. It was everywhere all the time.
For those of you too young to understand this, you have to realize the internet wasn't a thing yet. Yes, the internet has existed in some form since like the 1960s.
But
Americans
publicly-
did not really get the internet. The first people got it like in the late 70s, 80s, like the nerds that had a Commodore 64 or whatever. But Americans, by and large, did not get the internet till some in 95, but really high-speed internet debuted in 99, 2000.
Mhm.
And that's when more people started getting email addresses. And I remember when my friend told me about Gmail, you couldn't get Gmail. You had to be invited by someone who got a couple invites. And that's how I got my Gmail address really early, blah, blah, blah. But if you weren't in the pre-internet world, you don't come from the world that Jericho and I come from. It's completely different. The information age changing there with the internet. And I say all that to say this. There was 100 channels on cable TV, but everyone watched the same thing still.
Mhm.
Our parents, the baby boomers, always talk about, there were 3 channels, ABC, CBS, NBC. And it was largely that way for us too, even though there were 100 channels on cable. The cable channels were trash, like, I don't know, Court TV, Food Network, all this stuff you didn't really watch.
The fucking shopping network, C-SPAN, like all 100
QVC.
channels were bangers.
Right.
It used to be something you always say, yeah, there's like 100 channels, but you only watch
Right.
a handful. That's it. You didn't watch anywhere near the 100 channels that were.
Right. If you were young, you were watching like Nickelodeon. A young man, you were like watching Nickelodeon, ESPN, and then like
MTV.
sitcoms on NBC and maybe MTV. I was not allowed to watch MTV. So I say all that to say everyone was paying attention to the OJ thing. The court case was 8 months long.
Ugh.
It was broadcast on TV.
Oy
Judge
vey.
Lance Ito let them bring cameras in the courtroom. There was like over 150 witnesses. All these like wannabe
crazy.
Hollywood people. Remember, OJ had that like sort of friend acquaintance that lived on his property.
What was his name? Cato
Cato
Kalin?
Palin. And he like wanted to be an actor, and he had like the blonde feathered hair, and he became like the celebrity du jour.
Dude,
for a minute.
yeah, hell yeah.
And they would get all these people up there on the witness stand and this and that and the other, and then it finally comes down to they're trying to have OJ try on the glove, and the glove doesn't fit. You must have quit.
Yeah, Johnny Cochran, R.I.P.
Yeah.
That fool said, if the glove don't fit, well, I'm sure he didn't say it like that, but if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. Then he also had the Kardashians pops. Robert Shapiro was
Right.
also on his defense
You have the dream team.
And then who was that chick? Arden?
Marsha Clark and Christopher Darden. They were the district
Arden.
attorney.
They ended up
prosecutor.
banging each other,
He was that Christopher Darden looked like a shark. He looked like a badass, handsome dude.
but
He
they
looked like
ended
the
up
kind
like
of guy you would cast on a TV show about lawyers. Christopher
yeah,
Darden.
and he ended up banging her, and they got in trouble or some shit for banging each other. But yeah,
Hold
I mean, it was huge.
Hold on. We'll get back to O.J. Simpson's 31st anniversary, but this is a very serious topic. Think about what you think about. Came to all of us live on this show 2 weeks ago and said I think it was 2 weeks ago. He was very concerned. We prayed, and I said to pray if you're the praying type off the air for, I'm going to guess your son's name, and if I get it wrong, I'm sorry. Was it Winston? It was something like that. If I have the name wrong, I'm sorry. There was a threat that maybe he had sickle cell anemia. And they did the tests and all that, and look at this. God answers prayer. Great news, guys. The pathologist called me back, and my son does not have sickle cell disease.
That's
There you go.
awesome, man.
Praise God. I'm very happy for you. I'm a parent and a grandparent of a 2.5-year-old, and it's nothing like your little ones being sick or hurt. It breaks your heart. It breaks your heart, you know.
But to
You
get
know how
good
that
news
is, Jericho.
like
I'm sure your little ones have had a fever or something at least once, and
yeah,
you just
my
feel
kids-
terrible. You feel
my
so
kids-
sad for them.
they've dealt with you know, some minor health issues when they were little. And I remember my daughter, this was like a couple years ago, so she was like 11, maybe 10 or 11,
Yeah.
and she was having some liver issues.
Ooh.
So it ended up being, they never even knew what caused it. It worked itself out. And it ended up being nothing, but like her eyes were getting yellow. She was jaundiced.
Oh no.
So it was something with her liver. So there's a hospital. I live probably 35 minutes from UC Davis. It's a hospital here, and it's right across the street from a Shriners. So I took my daughter there, and she had to spend the night. I think she spent a couple nights there, maybe 3 nights, and just waiting for the test results and stuff like that. She didn't have any scares or nothing. You know, they didn't need to do anything crazy, no surgery. They just took a biopsy and tested it and everything. So really, she was there waiting for her test to come back. And I remember the first day I took her there, she didn't have a room yet. So there's like this, you're in kind of one of those open rooms and all the beds are separated by curtains.
Right.
So you're walking in there, man, you're going down the hallway and you see these fucking cribs, that like the hospital cribs for babies.
Like the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit, all that. It's horrible. It's
man. And my daughter, she was able to walk in there and walk out. But you got these fucking cribs, man. You know that's for babies who are dealing with some serious shit, man. And then, man, these parents next to us, they're sitting there, both of the parents, their kids sitting there sleeping, and the parents are just crying over the kid. And I was just like, fuck, man. I remember sitting in my car just saying, fuck. I couldn't form any other word than that. I just kept saying over and over again. And then, so when you get that good news of everything's clear, or, you know, it's working itself out, her levels or whatever, that shit is amazing, man. And it's always, I don't even want to say the words, and it's cliche, but it's so true, man. It can always be so much worse. You know, there were kids who didn't leave that hospital, man. There were kids who were in real bad shape, and I was just like, shit. So when it comes to your kids, it's turned up to 1,000. Fuck yourself. You don't even care about yourself. You would take on what they're dealing with times 1,000 to, you know, rid them of that. But when you get good news like that, man, that's amazing. And congratulations.
On a micro comparison scale to this, Big Baby stepped on a bee today and got stung between the toes. That was
that bee.
She killed it by stepping on it, but if he's still alive, I'll find him.
Yeah.
I have a particular set of skills. I will find your hive, and I'll kill every last damn bee I find.
All of you. Yeah, be on a mission to kill bees now. Like, that's what they deserve.
It's good for the environment. Kill all the bees.
Ever sting that poor little baby or poor little perfect foot was stung by a stupid bee.
Well, think about what you think about. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's a vulnerable thing, and thank God.
That's great. Happy for you.
He hears prayers. We're very happy for you. That was you know, scary for you. Ramdog 1138. Do you think the Rodney King jury trial and verdict and all that affected the OJ verdict? Everyone afraid of another LA riot. I think that probably had something to do with it. We're all floating in the same soup culturally. And for those of you that don't know, Rodney King was a guy who allegedly liked to take drugs and drive his car really fast and commit some other crimes. And boy, did he get a beating from the LAPD.
He got his ass whooped.
I've seen the video of it. We've all seen the video of it. And you're like, how did he not die is the thing I wonder. Just getting clubbed in the head. Cause like a brain bleed and just kill you eventually. Anyway, the LAPD was excessive, in my opinion, when dealing with one Rodney King. They beat the shit out of this guy. But someone in their window had a camcorder and recorded the whole thing.
Spaghetti-o.
Yeah, the news got a hold of it. Anyway, the police officers went to court, but the court was moved from LA to Simi Valley, which is out west. A little more money out there. You got Calabasas. You got other things in that direction. There's a line in an Ice Cube song, SIMI Valley for the KKK rally. I remember that. He was singing about that thing, saying it was white. So basically, they said they moved the court case because they would get a white jury. Bottom line, those cops all went free. They didn't get in the big trouble they should have for this. An epic is the wrong word. I don't mean to be funny. Just the beat down they put on this guy was insane. And that's what caused those 91 or 92 LA riots. where you see
Yeah,
the,
and LA
the
was
rooftop
still,
Koreans. Remember the rooftop Korean guys?
yeah, and LA
Defending
was
their
still
7-Elevens. Yeah,
LA was still smoldering from
right.
those riots. This is, what, 3 years after the riots. Now, I'm going to give a quick history and then kind of play devil's advocate on the whole Rodney King thing.
Okay.
Ice Cube, the aforementioned anti-white Ice Cube, who was like a Muslim or some shit. Like Ice
Well,
Cube
his
went
real
through
name
phases.
is I love his real name is O'Shea Jackson.
Oh shit! Hey,
O'Shea
come here,
Jackson.
O'Shea. Where's me photo? O'Shea.
Oi.
So he went through phases. He was gangster Ice Cube when he came out with NWA. Then he went through his militant phase, like on the Lethal Injection album, where he was like "Kill Whitey."
Right.
So that line that you mentioned was from his "Kill Whitey" phase, and then
Except for the part where his last name is O'Shea and his skin's pretty light. Might not want to kill all the whiteys, Ice Cube. You might have.
That's what he was saying. And he even had a skit on Lethal Injection where he killed a dude named Mr. White. But he then he went into his, we be clubbing, and then he got into his movies, and now he's Are We There Yet? Family friendly Coors Light commercials, Ice Cube.
Right.
But Rodney King, so on that video, you see the cops taking off on him, and there were other cops standing there watching too. Just all the cops there weren't the ones just hitting him. There were cops, maybe 4 cops that were hitting him. And then there were a few other cops standing around watching. But Rodney King, it wasn't just as simple as move the trial to a white area. We're going to find 12 racist white people. What are the chances of that? And put them on a jury and let these dudes walk. So in the video, you see Rodney getting hit, but Rodney never goes down. Rodney keeps trying to get up. Now, I don't know about you, but if cops start swinging on me with clubs, I'm going to treat it like a bear attack and play dead, right? You're not just going to, oh, no, fuck that. You're not just going to keep trying to get up. So he kept trying to get up. He was on all fours, and he just would not go down. These cops are teeing off on him. They weren't all hits to the head. He did have some minor brain damage. Like he was still able to talk and shit. It's not like they didn't fucking Reginald Denning this poor guy, which came from the Rodney King riots.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the video, Rodney is not going down. He will not go down so they can cuff him. He keeps trying to get up. And turns out Rodney had some blood in his veins, but then the rest of it was cocaine. Rodney was coked out of his fucking mind, and he wouldn't go down. Goodness. So they have the trial. The cops get acquitted. And then you have the famous or infamous, however you want to refer to it, where he goes, man, can we all just get along? So whenever you hear somebody say that, that's where it came from.
That's where it came from. And it ended up being like such a meme.
Oh,
it was in a movie I just saw recently.
Yeah.
Some 90s movie. I don't even remember.
It was the original meme. Right. That was the original meme. Right. And the recording of him getting his ass whooped was like the original caught on tape. That was like the first, oh shit. But it wasn't really a bunch of boss hog racist white cops beating up a black dude. There was more to it than that. So Rodney King, they get acquitted. Of course, he sues the city of LA and he gets fucking paid. Rodney gets, can you look it up, Gabe?
I'll find it in a minute here. Yes.
I think you got.
I do love that you have. I love that you have deep knowledge on this.
Yeah, and he got at least $10 million. What did he do with it? Do you think Rodney King started a Rodney King police training or Rodney King helped the kids fund or something like that? No, shit went up his nose. No, he's not alive. He died a few years back from probably, I think he overdosed from drugs. But as you can see, there's a bunch of cops standing around too.
If allegedly he was a hard drug user for many years, that's going to be rough on your heart and your brain. I'm no doctor, but says he died in 2012, age 47. So,
fucking drugs. Now you have a crack addiction or a coke addiction on a regular person budget. Now throw, what did he make? What was the settlement?
Let's find the award. Sorry. Oh, someone got it for us. Grant Rasha, $3.8 million in compensatory damages for medical expenses, pain, suffering, and other losses.
I thought he got more than that. But let's say you have a drug addiction, but now let's throw millions of dollars behind it. Now it's not just the fucking I gotta wait till I get paid or $500 a day. Now you're buying kilos and going fucking nuts. Yeah, and those are Korean store owners. Could you imagine
Right.
if a bunch of fucking if the LA riots were going on now? Wait, that's weird. They are. But could you imagine if a bunch of Korean store owners got on their roofs with guns?
One of the
and there are a bunch of
guys,
people of color down there.
One of the guys in this photo is on Twitter. I follow him, and he's such a patriotic dude and all that. And he's talking about the riots all last week, like just talking all this shit about, hey, maybe it's time again. But for those of you too young to understand, in '92, you get the police verdict that they're not guilty for beating the shit out of Rodney King. LA explodes in violence, fires, multiple days of just pure insanity. LA does that from time to time. But when they got to certain neighborhoods, probably Koreatown, these people are immigrants. They come here after the Korean War in the 50s. They buy, like a 7-Eleven, a restaurant, a dry cleaner, whatever. They're living the American dream. And they got on their roof, as you can see, with rifles. And like, no, you're not looting our stores. You're not building our buildings down. We escaped Southeast Asia, damn it. And you're not going to ruin what we have here. And it was crazy and inspiring.
And what do you think would happen to them now?
Oh, now the liberals would just say they were racist and they would be swept up, and arrested.
Something I just thought about. This just occurred to me, but it seems like every 30 years or so, LA has the riots. Yeah. You go back to 92. Watts. That's 33, right? 33 years. Then you go back to the Watts riots of 1965. This was 27 years after that. So around every 30 years, LA, we have 3 instances now to base that on, has a big fucking riot. And that's exactly what it was. And it was
almost not quite 30, but 20, like in the 40s, there was the Zoot Suit riots. A bunch of Mexicans were fighting. 25 years before that. Yeah,
that's where a lot of the Mexican gangs came from, because they were battling with the sailors and shit who would come into town and start whooping ass. But this you wouldn't see this today. You wouldn't see people up in their roofs with guns. Like, they probably can't even have these fucking guns now in stupid California.
Right.
But the Rodney King riots were some serious shit, and it was almost like people are gathering, and then something sets it off. Somebody threw a bottle or something like that, and then boom.
But don't you know about the concept of the agent provocateur, right? About this, like, military, political. So there'll be allegedly someone in the crowd who isn't really a protester or whatever. They're from the powers that be, there to be the fire starter, throw the first brick, hit the first cop, like do whatever. It's a theory some people have. I like the theory. I'm not saying since it's YouTube, what can we say? But I won't say I don't not believe it. If I could do a triple double negative there to protect myself. This diesel truck, this was one of the worst things in the 92 riots, which were deadly and dangerous and billions of dollars destruction. A man who was a trucker, a white man, was pulled out of his truck. His name was Reginald Denny.
Yeah.
He was pulled out like 2 black men, and it was all racial strife, and they beat the town. But the worst part is they hit him in the head with a brick.
Cinder block.
A cinder block. Sorry, a brick doesn't do it justice. A cinder block. How he didn't die from that is insane. Yeah,
and I don't know if he's still alive. I know it was for years after that.
It looks like he's still around. According to Wikipedia, he's still alive.
That's good. They made fun of him on A Living Color. I think it was David Allen Greer played Rodney King, and Jim Carrey played Reginald Denny, and like they were doing a commercial for like a lawyer or something, and Reginald Denny's eyes were crossed and shit, and they kept forgetting their lines and stuff. And it was funny as hell, but man, you talk about too soon. But the guys, because they found out the guys who did this, they were arrested and went to jail. The guys who hit Reginald Denny. So there's a Snoop Dogg album called "Murder Was the Case." It's a song off of his first album, and then it kind of spun off into its own little mini movie thing. And so he had a whole album for that movie, a soundtrack called "Murder Was the Case." And there's a song on there called "Natural Born Killers" with Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. And then there's a line and it goes, "Hit him with a brick and I'm dancing." And it's referring to Reginald Denny. They pulled this dude out of a truck. They're beating his ass. A dude runs up, hits him in the head with a cinder block, and they start fucking dancing. celebrating, dude, smashing this dude's fucking skull in. So Maxine Waters, she would visit the guy, one of the guys, and correspond with him in jail and go visit his mom.
One of
and
the
shit.
attackers or Reginald
One of the
Denny's
attackers. One of the attackers. She didn't give a fuck
What-
about Reginald Denny.
What was her rationale to visit a man who was contributing to beating someone in the head with a cinder
He
block?
was a
What
fucking
her-
a young black man being railroaded by the system.
Oh,
She would
shit.
correspond with that fool and visit him and go visit his fucking mother. And there's video evidence of this guy smashing this dude in the head with a fucking brick. You see him laid out in the street like that. And there was pure chaos. And there was a documentary where these people, these young, they got video footage, you know, the news crews down there interviewing people. And the guy was like, man, anybody white who came through the intersection, it's a wrap. It was a wrap for them. They were going to fuck them up. They're going to throw a brick at them, pull them out of the car, beat their ass, simply because they're black. Could you imagine if a city with majority white people erupted and they said, any black person who comes through this fucking intersection, man, it's over. And they pull a black dude out of his truck and smash him in the head with a fucking cinder block and then start dancing after. You're not human if you do that. You're a demon that somehow escaped the grasp of the devil where you were supposed to be, and you made it back up here to earth. But you need to be captured and then returned back to the depths of Hades where you belong, because that's some sick shit.
It's completely insane behavior.
And then you have people who justify it like, well, you know, the police brutality, man, and we got sick of that shit. We got sick of it. Dude, there's no justification for this. There's no justification for smashing an innocent dude in the head. I don't give a fuck what you felt like.
But he was white, dude. Come on. Did you consider that part?
Fucking, dude, there's no excuse. Like, oh, I had to sell drugs. I had to sell drugs because I had to feed my kid. That's bullshit.
Not only was he white, he also had nothing to do with it. Did you consider that yet, Jericho?
Oh, that was a third strike. You're here, you're white, and you had nothing to do with it. You are fucked. Why did he stop, Reginald? Why did you fucking stop?
But then we get this. So the riots are going strong. LA's burning to the ground. People are, being killed. Buildings are, guys, it was out of control. It was crazy, the LA riots. It was like the George Floyd
My friend's dad was a cop. He had to go down to LA to help with riot control. And we were 6 hours north of LA. This
is Rodney King, the man who was beat by the cops, and the cops got off, and that's what sparked all this. And this is them asking him, what do you think? What is your message to people about these riots? And this was such a meme in the 90s after he said this. Listen up.
I just want to say, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
That guy needs a little media training,
Man. So. You know what? I'll say it. I don't feel bad for Rodney King. I don't feel bad for him. Number one,
have you
not
done cocaine and PCP and driven your car really fast to get away from the cops?
All right, yeah. Let me stop throwing stones.
Yeah,
I live in my glass PCP house.
That's what it was, right? PCP and cocaine and
coke. Yeah, dude, fuck that. Number one, you're driving under the influence of some very serious shit.
Woo!
You didn't. You're doing the Ric Flair going 95 down the highway. You didn't fucking comply with the police. That's why they're whooping your ass. You got millions of dollars in the settlement and you fucking blew it. You had children out there illegitimately that you didn't give a fuck about. So fuck Rodney King. I don't feel sorry for you that you took an ass whooping. You know how many ass whoopings I took for my parents for free? And you got like $4 million and you fucked it off? Man, fuck that shit. That's so stupid, but that's no excuse. There's poverty, so there has to be crime because they can't get a job. They've done studies on different races of people. There's countries in Europe that are super fucking poor. There's places here in America where white people are super poor and they're not gunning each other down selling dope in front of their house. That's bullshit.
I was very poor at the beginning of my marriage. I made $8 an hour. My wife made $2.17 plus tips waiting tables. We lived check to check for better parts of the first 10 years of our marriage. It was always getting better, but we were very poor. Do you know how much we stole and did bad things to make ends meet? Never. Yeah. Not a once. Not fucking.
You don't have to do that shit. I knew people. I could make a phone call. Not to say that I was in that lifestyle or anything like that, but I knew people. I knew people that if I wanted to say, man, I need to sell some dope to make money, they would have fucking given me whatever I needed. But that never crossed my mind because I'm not a fucking criminal. That's ridiculous. That's a bullshit cop out lie
Right.
to say that, oh, I'm poor, so I got to do bad shit. That's dumb. And
Yeah.
because you got fed up because of the police brutality, so you burned up the city and almost killed somebody, man, shut the fuck up. That's so dumb. And they only burn up their shit. I'm not saying you should go burn up somebody else's shit, but you didn't burn the police station. You didn't burn no judge's house down. You didn't burn no crooked cop's house down. You went down and fucking burned up the places you shop at and burned up your neighborhood.
I like on the George Floyd riots and the current nonsense that was going on, the people would write on their store, I support BLM. Like, please.
That's like people who leave their windows down and leave notes on their car. I don't have anything in here in San Francisco, so their windows don't get fucking smashed. That's ridiculous. So I'm pissed at you, Gabe. I'm gonna set my house on fire. That'll teach
Right.
you.
Yeah, that'll show me. You showed me. They're cutting off the nose to spite the face.
So dumb.
So,
and there are people who support that. There are people who are like, yeah, that's right. You're disenfranchised. It's not their fault disproportionately. Fuck.
I don't know, dude. But we celebrate 31 wonderful years.
Wonderful, beautiful years.
Orenthal J. Simpson and AC Cowlings driving down. I wonder if that's the 405 or it probably is. The 405 has the most traffic, like I think, in the world. Definitely in America. The 405 freeway is the worst freeway in America. It's one of the like 18 freeways in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is just spaghetti noodles of
guys.
freeways.
6 lanes going in each direction.
That's nuts, and they're packed.
Sometimes they're 8. There's some that are 8.
Yeah.
It is it has to be one of the wonders of the world to see 8 lanes of highway traffic going one way and 8 you have 16 lanes of traffic. That is fucking crazy. And that's LA, no problem.
Yeah, I was in LA last week, and I was there like the day before everything popped off. I was at Dean's movie premiere like Wednesday 2 weeks ago, and that stuff popped off like the next day or whatever. So glad I got out of town. Jeez.
I know somebody who's he's a coworker and he fucking has people in LA, his family, that's where he's from. So he went down there. And he's like, oh, I got hit in the chest with a baton by a cop who was on a horse because they were clearing out the area. I'm like, the fuck, you went down there? To do what? To do what? You think Trump's going to turn on his TV and go, wait a minute, stop, hold on. They're rioting down there? Hey, stop the raids, stop grabbing illegals, pump the brakes. Oh my goodness, I didn't know you were going to deface the Kobe mural.
Wait.
Oh, fuck.
President Trump, I'm a Secret Service guy. I'm coming up to you, President Trump. Sir, we just got word that a fat liberal woman has drawn a ugly picture of you. What would you like us to do?
He spits out his McDonald's. What? Say it slower. She did what?
Hold on, sir. I'm getting new information. The same fat woman. No, it's the other fat woman. Has called you They called you a racist dictator, sir. I don't know what you want me to do. Do we stop the raids?
Trump's taking his shit. Tell him I don't give a fuck. Kadoo. Kabloo. Trump don't give a shit.
Sir, they just called you Putin's puppet. I think we should stop the raids. These mean words are getting really mean.
Oh no, Putin. Kadoo.
I just
haven't heard that one in a while. Putin's puppet. Let me guess. There's a video of me pissing.
You know what? I was reading a Trump quote. I was reading a Trump quote on Twitter the other day. I don't remember what it said, but it said "loco" at the end, and I read it to my wife, and I know exactly like the protesters there. They are frankly quite loco. You know how he'll do the dramatic pause.
Yeah.
The sing-songy at the end. I love that. But if he says loco out loud, that's how he's saying it.
Hey, what? Trump lays down next to Melania every night. You think he gives a fucking fraction of a shit? What you idiots are doing in Los Angeles, he's just going to sick the National Guard on you. Pretty soon, he's going to say, look, you have 24 hours to clear the fuck out. This is enough. You're fucking with we got the Olympics coming through here. We got the World Cup coming through here. You guys aren't fucking this up. So go home. If you're not home by tomorrow, we're clearing this bitch out. And then it's going to get flashbangy down there real bad. But you're a fucking idiot. What are you doing? Who has the time to protest for 2 weeks?
I think
your stupid ass somewhere.
They're trying to kick off another summer of Floyd across the nation, and it isn't it isn't holding. If you look at the videos and the photos of the protesters, they're basically older, senior white women. They are the boomer / old Gen X, not many Gen X. It's like a lot of boomer feminist women who've been marching since 1963 when they burnt their bra and stopped shaving their armpits. And it's like, lady, give it up already. Like, we get it. You hate your dad. We get it. You hate your dad.
They can't. They got too much money coming through there. They got too many big events coming through there. They saw what happened in the summer 2020. That's why the troops are there right now. That shit's not going to happen. You're not going to have any autonomous zones in Los Angeles. They're going to come through and clear that bitch out. And Gavin Newsom can sit there and talk tough and say hell and damn all he wants, you fucking prick.
Yeah, I'm
that
kind
shit's
of
going to be cleared
disappointed
out.
with Gavin Newsom. His resistance to Trump during the riots just recently was kind of weak. Gavin Newsom, as horrible as he is, he's a good politician. Now, do not misunderstand me. I mean, he's good at being a politician. I don't mean he has good policies and runs California well. They're running this thing into the ground at light speed. Yes, horrible governor. But he's savvy. He's cool. He's calm. He can turn a phrase. He's like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, dude. You know, like it seems like a sociopath. But I was a little disappointed with his banter with Trump. He didn't bring it. You know, he didn't really bring it. It's kind of
because he's a cocksucker. But he said, I'm the damn it hell. I'm getting sick of this, damn it. Like, don't try to, blue up your language. Like, don't try to get blue collar with us. And, what do they say? They say, damn it. Yeah, I'm sick of this cockamamie frickin' frack. Like, shut up, dude. Just stick to your fucking Cabernet. You stick to your group and don't try to connect with us. Don't try to use salty language to connect with the common man, you fucking prick. I hate Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, he really
slimy
is.
Son of a bitch.
And here's the thing. We always talk about this. We talk about California a lot on this show because Jericho and I are two cool California dudes.
So
California's a place to be. It is my home. I love California, and I'm not leaving. I am not leaving. I thought about it for a little while. I was like, no, damn it. They're going to leave. They're not chasing me out of here. We're gonna turn this shit around. And I know that because scientifically, it's just a pendulum. Things do swing back and forth. Nothing can go in one direction forever. Eventually, it has to come back. Eventually. And it will do so in my lifetime, damn it. But you can't beat it. It's the weather, the opportunity, it's just the most amazing place to live. And especially San Diego. It truly is America's finest city. It's so beautiful living here. The weather we have here in San Diego, not even LA has our weather. It's like the rarest weather on earth. There's parts of Portugal and I think a couple parts of Spain and just a few places in the Mediterranean have the same weather as we do, and basically nowhere else on earth. And I always tell you guys, it's like 65 to 75 year round. We had a scorcher today, got to 79. 79.
Not almost 80.
I'm getting an air conditioner for my room. I'm like, okay.
Dude, it was 80 or 93 to 80. Yeah, right. It was 93 today, I believe. And then tomorrow, let's see. Yeah, today was 93, and tomorrow we're looking at 102.
Ooh. Well, tomorrow we're back down to like 74.
Oh.
So
tonight it will get down to 63. No, 61. It'll be 61 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then we'll start our ascent into the hundreds. And tomorrow my son has football practice at 6 p.m. where it will be 100 degrees. But by the time we're done with practice at 8 o'clock, it will be down to 97. So
what works really well? Now you want to just go with salt and natural things, bananas, salt water. But if you're in a pinch and you got the headache and you got the dehydration, there's a Mexican brand of Gatorade or something called Electrolyte. And that I found works like the fastest if I have a headache or something like that going on. All the 7-Elevens have them. But it's like Electrolyte, but it's like, I think it's because it's Mexican, it would be Electrolyte.
Electrolyte.
Yeah. And they have sugar-free ones. I get the sugar-free grape. And that's a good elixir if you got a headache.
I found that starting the hydration the night before helps.
That's very smart.
So the night before, thanks to my son's coach, because their playoff and championship game, it was going to be 103 at kickoff.
Ooh, boy.
And something scary, they said they don't have to cancel the game until it gets 111. I said, what the fuck, dude? I said,
are they playing on artificial turf?
No, it's grass.
Okay, because that artificial turf that was popular about 10 years ago, it gets like 10 degrees hotter. All that
Dude, there's
black
no
rubber.
fucking way I'm gonna be out there 105, 106, 107. Dude, we're going home. Fuck
Right.
that.
Right.
But luckily, the night before, he said start the hydration tonight. So we mixed a teaspoon of salt in the water. We
Right.
started with electrolyte water and shit like that. So that was really cool. I think that really helped because once you're feeling the symptoms, it's too late.
Yeah. Once you get the headache and all that, you're not great.
You're fucked. Yeah. So I'll try to avoid it. But yeah, 103, 100 at kickoff at the beginning of practice. So we're starting to cool. And then, yeah, man, I'll be out there with my big hat. I used to think those were so stupid, the big straw hats that
Right.
every
That's
dad
the coach
has.
hat.
Dude, I got like 3 hats.
You got here's the coach gear. Okay, you got the t-shirt, you got the collared shirt with the little logo for the football team.
Mhm.
You got the big straw hat, you got the sunglasses. Then you have the nut hugger dolphin shorts.
Oh, and forget your whistle.
You got your whistle. But what is up with the coaches and they got the nut hugger shorts on? What are we doing?
The sack squeezers, dude. You can see if he's circumcised or not.
Yeah.
See that
Tell
helmet?
if he's part of the tribe or just a Gentile. You know?
I don't know. I don't know, man. But it's the uni. Let's do it. Get it. Squeeze on in there.
Hardy Harmonica says, did you know the I-10 in Houston, Texas, the 10 originates in Los Angeles. The I-10 in Houston, Texas, Katy Freeway has 26 lanes on certain segments.
What the fuck?
And did you also know, not only did I know that, Hardy Harmonica, I planned my driving from San Diego to Disney World in Orlando, Florida, around Houston, Texas. It was during the lockdowns. And remember all the plane flights were getting canceled for a reason we can't talk about on YouTube.
Mm.
The flights were getting canceled because certain people didn't want to work for certain reasons we can't mention on YouTube. So I planned a 25th wedding anniversary trip with my wife to go to Disney World. We rented a car. We got a condo, like at a resort place, and it was like $2,600. It was through Costco Travel. Use Costco Travel, guys. It's amazing. And that included 4 days at Disney World, a rent a car, the round trip plane tickets, blah, blah, blah. I tell my wife, we can't fly there. They're canceling so many flights. What if we get stuck in a layover or we miss our whole thing? So we cancel the flights and we rent a car and we make a 2-week trip out of it. We're going to see America. We'd never been to the South, either of us. I fell in love with the South. I love Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. It was amazing, amazing food. I think I'd be fat if I lived down there, like way fat, because the food was insane.
And it's
but
everywhere.
I researched where to stop. We went to the Alamo, but I found out when in my research, Houston, Texas has the worst traffic in America. Consistently, the worst.
Damn.
So many people, poorly designed road system. We planned driving. If we leave San Antonio at this time, we'll hit Houston at this time. So I wanted to hit Houston like at 10, 11 in the morning. Everybody's gone to work. Nobody's coming home yet. There was still effing traffic at 10:30 in the morning in Houston.
Oh,
It was
hell
awful.
no.
It was awful.
Mm.
And then Houston has some world-class bad weather too. I feel sorry for people of Houston, man. It's hot. It's humid. It's a lot of crime in parts of Houston. And the weather's terrible. What's not to love? So, yeah.
Nah, no, thank you. California is definitely, the best state as far as landscape, topography, weather, and all that kind of shit. But man, they sure make it tough.
Right.
They sure make it tough. But one thing, probably the only good thing about Weird Science, and the budget was $7.5 million. I mean, it was a hit. It made almost $40 million. Budget was 7.5. So, I mean, it was a hit.
I mean, I get why it was a hit. It's a trashy teen comedy, raunchy. Yeah. People like that,
The only good part about it, and forget the best part, the only good part was a young Kelly LeBrock because she was.
I mean, she's a Hall of Fame beauty, right? I mean, just gorgeous. And it was. They turned the brother into Jabba the Poop. What the hell?
Yeah, man. What the fuck, dude? This movie was so.
Here's an image that sums up the movie. So they're doing an homage to Bride of Frankenstein, the classic Universal horror movie where they make a Bride of Frankenstein. They want to make a girl because they're dorks and they can't get dates and girlfriends. They want to make their own girl, so they use the kid on the left. They use his computer, and they hook it to like the internet and hack into government computer systems to get extra energy and memory. So you got to,
And they're like draining it from military installations.
right? You got to understand the context here. This is like 1985, 86 or whatever. No one knew anything about computers. So you could just say stuff and put it in.
Yeah, you
movies,
weren't
like,
hacking.
yeah,
You weren't
yeah.
hacking.
No,
You weren't
nobody
hacking in this
basically-
shit.
Yeah, no one had a computer, so you could just kind of say stuff about computers in movies, and people are like, okay, I guess so. And so yeah, they hack in. There's a mystical like lightning storm, and after the lightning, this woman comes out of the bathroom. The bathroom door explodes, and she comes out dressed like that because they have the little toy Barbie that they're trying to bring to life.
Yeah, who's wearing the same thing.
Right. So she comes out and they're basically like the two guys, and they gave her Einstein's brain somehow, and it is kind of funny that this movie is predictive of what we'd want to do with computers. What human beings have always wanted to do is like AI. It's like, oh, we could, because when they're talking about the concept of maybe making a girl with the computer, like we could, give her a brain and give her a personality, and then we could put her in like romantic situations. We could figure things out. So this is
like learn from her.
Yeah, like their training wheels for their romantic sexual prowess.
Yeah. They're not going to try to bang her, of course. They just want to learn from her.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I read Playboy for the articles.
Right.
I don't look at it for the tits. And who the hell, what guy making a girl, if this to the point where you got to make a girl, who's going to say, no, don't make her tits too big?
Yeah, that was a weird thing. The guy makes them in the computer screen. You see like the 3D wireframe model of the girl, and the one kid makes her boobs real big, and the other guy's like, no. Anything bigger than a handful is too much or something.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Who told you
I
that?
feel like you, Jericho, you would have turned the knob to increase the size and you would have broke the knob off.
Can't make bigger tits. Dude, get out of here. Especially some fucking teenager. Them tits are going to be cartoon big.
Right. You have a young Robert Downey Jr. plays one of the bullies.
Yeah. Handsome young man.
The great Bill Paxton is the older brother, Chet, who's always going to tell on the nerdy kid and the computer whiz kid. And he gets turned into a poop Jabba the Hutt by her, and she has magic powers. It's they don't explain why.
It's quite stupid.
Not only is she a magical creature that comes out of the computer to be the sex kitten for these two boys, she can conjure up a Porsche for them to drive. She can conjure
driver's
up
licenses.
Yeah, weird different things. Maybe the weird science is referring to the magic and the supernatural. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
I think you're giving it too much credit. You're thinking
what would
smart.
weird science be like if they made it today, Jericho?
Actually, it wouldn't be a woman being objectified. It would be a male being objectified, and he would like be so dumb, and like women would be smarter, and the whole movie would be shitting on men, and it would be about destroying the patriarchy and uplifting the matriarchy, and it would be about equality and equity for all people of color and people in the LGBTIQA community, and like inclusion and indigenous people, and it would be against colonizers, and it'd be fucking terrible. But the guy would definitely be objectified. And when you look at stuff like this, it's not like Kelly LeBrock was being objectified against her will. It's not like women are these stupid little damsels in distress being tossed about in life. And, oh, I can't, help me. And oh my God, I'm being exploited. You know, she did it because that's what's popular. That's what people wanted to see. She wanted the role. She didn't turn it down. She was like, I got to make out with a 15-year-old? No problem. So it would definitely be a steaming pile of fucking woke, preachy shit.
This kind of reminds me of the 1987 film Mannequin.
Oh, Lord.
With Kim Cattrall.
Only worse than that was Mannequin, too.
And it's starring Andrew McCarthy. It's a whole other thing. A mannequin comes to life in a department store because an ancient Egyptian princess who was blonde with blue eyes had some spell put on her thousands of years ago, and then she comes to life in 1987 in a department store in New York City. So there you go. So yes, Weird Science does remind me of Mannequin a little bit. So, which the best thing about Mannequin is the Starship song. We built this thing. We built this thing together, standing strong forever. Whatever that song is called.
Yeah, nothing's gonna stop us now.
Is that the name of that song? It's a great song. I like that song.
Jefferson Starship.
Right. They used to be Jefferson Airplane in the 60s when they were hippies.
Well, thank God they changed it.
Yeah. So Chat GPT called me a beachy badass boss. I was like, what? Oh, bitchy. Diane, stop arguing with Chat GTP.
Shit, fuck that. This damn AI shit's gonna learn.
I've
Don't
had
give
some
up.
conversations with Grok. I have, like, some long conversations talking about philosophical, psychological stuff and trying to figure it out. And I do ask it to reference, psychological literature and studies and this and that. And it is fascinating the age we live in now. You realize it's no longer a science problem. It's merely an engineering problem. We have everything we need to make C-3PO. We have the AI that's enough.
Let's not.
And we have the robotic bodies. And there you go. And so they can make it now. Elon has his Tesla robot Optimus that he's going to put out in like a year or two, and they're only like $20,000. But what, Jericho? The minute they make a robot that is the size of you and walks around and can talk and hold a conversation with you like ChatGPT and Grok and all that do, what is the first thing someone's going to do to it?
Gonna fuck it.
That's right.
So you got to make sure it's waterproof on the inside, like it's lined with some kind of rubber around all the holes, mouth, anus.
How about just
Actually,
not
don't give it one?
Yeah, don't. You don't no need to build it that way.
The demand is gonna be like, look, you got to put a mouth and an anus on these things, or I'm not buying it. All right, guys, put a mouth. And anus
how great
on
would it be though to have Optimus and you can tell it shit and it understands you? Hey, Optimus, go in the back and all those bricks I left out, that fence I'm building there, would you stack them back up? I got to clean this thing up later, and this guy's coming over. I can't do it, and it just does it. I thought this since I was a little boy. The key to solving poverty is billions of robots, like walk around, different kinds that can fly. And the robots are they're our servants, but it's not immoral because they're robots. They don't have feelings. They don't have souls. They're just robots. I feel like this is the beginning of the Terminator movie franchise? Is this how this shit started?
Yeah, they've become so for real.
And then they got mad at people like me.
I mean, yeah, but there's just, and it's not the robots. It's just a human's gonna fuck it up. A human, like we can't get over the thought that, I mean, I guess you could call it the Terminator effect. We can't get over the thought that that thing could turn on us someday. That there's going to be some kind of glitch, and it's going to hurt us. Maybe the iRobot effect. If you want to get more recent, but we can't get over the fact that one day the little green light is going to turn red, and it's going to fucking strangle us in our sleep, or launch fucking nuclear missiles at us.
I've been talking to Grok and asking about, hey, Grok, there was something with my computer I wanted to fix, blah, blah. And it helps me fix something. And then I'll say, thank you. Say, hey, thanks, man. And then you're like, who the hell am I thanking? It's weird. It's weird
It's
stuff.
that connection because things that we have conversations with are people. So it's that, it's muscle memory. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. But before you send the robot out there to clean up those bricks, it's going to be like, would you like to use my mouth or anus? Oh, man, God. Get the fuck out of here. Stop offering that shit. I didn't even want you to have a mouth or anus.
I just want the butler
fucking
robot.
Dirty
you know
robot.
what I mean? I'm cooking. I've got company coming over. I'm making something really good.
But you got family in the house, though. Are you going to leave the robot? Are you going to run to the store and Big Baby's taking a nap? Or are you going to leave the robot there?
I'm sending the robot to the store. Hey, robot, we're out of fresh cream. Could you go get some cream at the store, robot? Here's my card. Here's my bank card. Go get some cream.
You wouldn't even need to give it your card.
I know. He'll have something in his finger, his eyeball.
Yeah, he'll just fucking already have it. Yeah, but so then, are we even going out anymore? Or are we just sending our robot? The robot's going to be in the grocery stores now? Are they going to be in traffic?
Well, why would you even need to send your robot to the store? Wouldn't you just like, hey, robot, order whatever from the store, and like another drone robot brings it to your house? Right? Just robots everywhere.
Yeah, but it would just totally fucking Wall-E society where all the menial, all the labor jobs that keep people fit would be
gone. Yeah.
Gone. Ooh, but what else is attached to that convenience? We're not just trading convenience. There's got to be some other things that are attached to that.
If people don't have purpose in life, then it's going to descend into chaos and violence and madness. So.
We'll send the robots to fight.
So my robot fights your robot?
Yeah, and whoever wins, I get your robot now and all your shit.
That sucks. Ugh.
It does. But that's what we get for incorporating robots in our fucking everyday life. Just stop at sex robots. That's all we need.
I don't know.
Don't have them
Is that
doing
what
our
we're gonna
jobs.
see? Like in 15 years, is the guy going to be walking down the sidewalk holding hands with his wife robot? And then they're going to like march for equality. And then you're going to have the Supreme Court rule that you can marry your robot and you're like a robosexual and all this stuff. So like, where are we going? Where's any of this going?
Right where you said it. Fucking chaos. We're going to fuck it up. That's why it just needs to stop at, like, I don't know, maybe somehow electronically tether your robot to your house. Like, you can't take it out. It's just for banging when you get home.
What if I'm going camping and I want the robot to chop some wood or stand sentry for bears?
I don't know. Maybe they'll have ranger robots and they'll do that for you.
I have a Yogi Bear robot.
Hey, boo boo. Hey, camper. You want me to chop some wood?
Yogi.
You know. Yeah, it's fucking. They'll have the robots there to do it, but then robots. Then you take out the human element. Then you take out the. All right, I'll give you a warning. Hey, you kids.
Right.
Now it's going to be you violated the law. You will get a citation. Fuck you, robot. Fuck who? Fuck you. And then somebody gets hurt. Blah blah blah. These things are hurting people. Order. So yeah, man. Either way, we're fucked. So maybe just don't make any robots.
There's nothing you could do about it. It is coming. The robots are coming.
So that's how they're going to slip it in under the guise of it'll just do. You don't want to peel potatoes and you don't want to cut grass and you don't want to fucking clean up your dog shit.
You don't want to comb your own hair or brush your own teeth.
Let a robot wash your ass. Hey, robot, wash my penis one more time. Again. So yeah, man. Either way, we're going to fuck it up. And we can't just have a little bit of robot. We can't just have them going to bombs, diffusing bombs and shit like that. No, we're going to integrate them in our personal life. And the pickup lines at school are going to be full of fucking nanny bot 2000s.
Oof.
Just picking up the little turds. Hi, nanny bot. Hello, Trevor. Where's my mom? She's drunk at home. What would you like for dinner? Then they have a generation of kids.
Nuggets or Uncrustables.
Can you cut the crust off? Of course.
Are Uncrustables child abuse? I've never had one.
Yeah, no, it is child abuse. It is. You got to eat crust.
You cannot eat that.
You fucking eat crust. I saw a video yesterday of somebody put them in a waffle iron.
Okay.
And one in each little compartment and fucking waffled them. It looked pretty good, but no, man, that builds character. You got to eat crust, you little fucker. What would your parents tell you?
Heel of the bread. I eat the heel of the bread, and I'm fine with it. I don't care.
I don't eat the heel of the bread. I throw that shit away. But.
Look at you contradicting yourself.
No, eating the crust, that's fine. But I don't want a whole piece of crust. That's what the end pieces are.
Old Renaissance Brewer says, I think what we need our robots to be placed in passenger seats of shitty drivers, yelling at them like Sam Kinison about what they did wrong. That might be something.
Yeah, but then if you incorporate robots like into driving, then the accidents go away.
Well, we got the robotaxi coming. They're already running them in Austin. Elon Musk, it's going to work. Everything this dude does works. I'll tell you what. I got Starlink, Elon Musk internet. It's $120 a month. My regular internet was $100. It's so much better. I have Wi-Fi all over my property now, not just my house.
Well, this little fucker, no, he messed it up. Now he just reinforced that. He just reinforced that they'll one day turn on us. Because what did he do to Trump? You didn't just shit on his policy. You fucking Hiroshima August 8th, 8:45 in the morning by fucking dropping that Epstein bullshit, dude.
Yeah, so, he lost his temper.
Dog. But what does losing his temper look like in his little Asperger brain? Does that look like him, fucking, I'm tired of the world.
Oh, he pushes the evil robot button that he has under his desk.
Exactly, where the green light turns red. Now all the little robocabs are crashing into each other and running over people on the sidewalk. Now, fuck that. Fuck Elon Musk. He ruined it by doing that because that speaks to your character. There's no coming back from that. You can't be friends with somebody.
Hardcore one. Yeah.
That's the hardest of cores. That's the hardest. If I said that about you, and 3 days later, hey Gabe, you going to get together for dinner? Well, no, I can't look at your face
Right.
and act cool with you because you said the most vile shit possible.
It was
Like,
weird. It was
it would
very
be-
like, why would you say that? That's insane.
That's nuclear. That's
Yeah.
level 10. Like that's Dumb and Dumber. She throws a snowball at him and he's fucking mushing her face in the snow. Like, it's a bit of an
Right.
overreaction, dude. And what's that overreaction going to look like next time? Fuck that.
Just a little
Fuck
bit.
Elon Musk. Even if Musk called Trump a Nazi, that's easier to recover from than calling him a fucking weirdo.
Hey, give me your take on this. So we've been living through woke for 10, 15 years.
Ugh.
They call you a Nazi, a racist, a bigot, a homophobe. And I was thinking about the liberals, the left, the Democrat, that concept of wokeness. And I was thinking about anti-woke, conservative, libertarian, all that. And I just categorized them as male and female. It's just kind of male thinking is anti-woke and female thinking is wokeness. Then I think the thing that women always say, doesn't matter what you say, it matters how you say it. Which is,
True.
another way of saying it doesn't really matter what the words literally are. It matters how I feel when I hear them. It matters how I feel about you when you say them. And I realized that's true in the one direction from you talking to your wife, but they're also telling on themselves and projecting women. It doesn't, now I'm playing the role of the woman now. It doesn't matter what I as a woman say. It matters how I feel when I say it. So when they call you a Nazi, they understand you are not a Nazi. But Nazi is now a catch-all for a horrible person, someone you would never want to be. So that's all they're trying to convey, is that you're vile, you're this filth, someone no one would want to be. So that's what I think the deal is with that whole, like, why would you call, because the male reaction is very logical. Why would you call me a Nazi? That's insane. I'm not. And then they're saying it and they're so sure of it when they say it. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter what they say. It matters how they feel when they say it. Does that track for you, or is that too confusing, my concept here?
No, that makes perfect sense. I'm definitely tracking it, but that's the problem with emotions driving you, is you're going to say some shit and you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Right.
Like, yeah, okay, you were pissed. Well, I was mad when I said it. I understand that, but what you said was extremely fucked up, and we can't come back from that. And am I supposed to go on this emotional roller coaster ride with you every time and then forgive you? No, like, some shit is unforgivable. Some shit we can't come back from. And I know you might have been really upset when you said that, but that's super fucked up and it's over. That's it. Like, that's insane. But emotions have a great place. Women are definitely more compassionate and accepting, and that has its place, but its place isn't everywhere. That's where men come in. We have to distinguish, shut things down, compartmentalize, make tough decisions. We have those emotions too. We feel anger, we feel love, we feel hate,
Right.
we feel rage, but we just have a different control over it. And some men don't, but usually in those men's past, if you follow that little thread far enough, you're going to come to, my dad wasn't there, or my dad was a horrible dad. So yeah, women definitely have their place, and that's what we love about them. We love that compassion. Like, how can you feel that way about this? How that
Right.
that love? But fuck that. Out here in this world, it's a dog eat dog world, and we're wearing milk bone underwear. Fuck that.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that was a thing I came to the other day. It's like, oh, it also doesn't matter what they say. It matters how they feel when they say it, how it makes them feel to say that. But you're right. The thing with Elon is insane that he said that to Trump about Trump. Like, why?
That's crazy.
Well, it's so emotional and out of control, because it's like, think logically, Elon, because you're kind of like Mr. Science and Logic. Think logically, game it out. You're arguing with Trump. You don't like this policy. You then tweet that. And then how did this go in your head? How did this help you win in your head? I don't understand what you thought would eventually happen. So that's why it's just like a spaz out, I guess. I don't know.
But that has consequences, man. I can't. Hey, Gabe, you're an asshole. Oh yeah, well, you went to Epstein's Island, Jericho. Wow, what the fuck?
Right.
what? That was a little much. And then what adds insult to injury? Then you're going to be like, oh, I went a little far. Yeah, you fucking prick. You went far. What do you mean you went a little far?
Right.
Yeah, you went way too far, and that shit's fucked up. But now it's like I can't remember what I was watching, some kind of TV show or something. and somebody did something like that. Somebody did something against the boss. They got caught stealing or something like that. And they let him stay on. And the guy's like, why would you let that fucker stay on? He's like, because now his every waking moment is going to be spent pleasing me, trying to regain my favor. Now he's an asset to me. Now he's going to be my eyes and ears. Now he's going to be bringing me. He's going to be leaving. You know, when your cat kills a gopher, it leaves the guts and the head on the porch. Now he's going to be leaving that for me. Now he's going to be an asset. I'm going to keep him around. So that's what Elon Musk is going to have to do. And not that Trump's even going to have to tell him to do that. By Trump allowing him back in the fold in any way, that's just human nature. Elon's going to feel an obligation to make it right.
Right.
And I don't know, does he have that? I think he has a scientifically logical part of his brain. I think he sees the world in matrix codes, and mathematically things make sense. But obviously,
Socially,
the emotion department, he fucked up.
Yeah, not great. Old Renaissance, why is it these white women seem like a woman on the pitch for something? Let's forget woman there and just think of people who are out of control with rage and anger. I do a lot of study on psychotherapy, psychology, and all that stuff to help myself with a lot of issues from divorce when I was a child. Rage is a mask for grief. That's what's going on there. Grief and fear, they're covered defensively by rage. So when someone's like, ah, really they're terrified inside. They're heartbroken inside, but it comes out as spitting blood anger. That's what that is, because they're raging and they're fighting, but it's a panic, fight, flight, freeze. It's fight of the three. They're fighting this evil, this death, this
like
doom, this
injured animal.
danger, this perceived danger that Trump is going to, he's going to deport regular people. He's going to deport all Mexicans. Like, oh my God. Okay.
The fuck? I did a video today and I was asking, do these people really believe this shit, or is they just get home and close the door and they're just like, those fucking idiots. They think that I really, like, is it that, or do they honestly believe that Donald Trump, he didn't do it the first time around for whatever reason. Maybe he knew this was coming. He was going to get back in there. He didn't do any of this the first time, but for some reason, the second time, he's going to start rounding up. And he said he was going to start taking only the violent gang members and shit, but now he's grabbing. Dude, I don't give a fuck.
And by the way, that's a lie.
Take them all.
He never said he was going to deport violent and criminal. He said he was going to deport illegal aliens. Full stop.
Thank you.
That's what he said. They made up the part where it was violent criminals.
Go get him. Hey, go get him. Go. Get out of here.
By the way, being here illegally is a crime. So if you're saying criminals, well, everyone who's here illegally is committing a crime.
Every single one of you.
Right. So
go get them. Yeah, go on, get. There were people, there were immigrants who voted for him to do this. Those are, I'd say, the most pissed off people about illegals are the ones
waiting in line to get this country doing it the right way, spending money and time. And other people are just like, yep, where's my free shit? I'm here.
Dude, I'm waiting inside. I'm waiting outside in the line at the club. I see you walk by. I finally get in the club, and I see you in the club. How the fuck did you get in here?
I know someone.
I'm pissed because I paid my cover charge, and I waited, and you just climbed through the window or whatever? Like, what the fuck? I'm going to be pissed.
I know someone who 40-something years later is justifiably, in my opinion, still mad at their parents. This person is a responsible saver type. And they got some allowance money in the summer. And this person had siblings. This person saved their money for like weeks, month, whatever, to go to the big, like the 4th of July fair. Like we have one down here in San Diego. It's the Del Mar Fair. It's one of the biggest fairs in the country. It started last Wednesday. It goes through like after the 4th of July. Hot dogs, Ferris wheels, a million things, exhibition centers, whatever. They save their money to go to the fair or an amusement park or something. Their siblings, who are more out of control and wild child, wasted all their money in the weeks and days leading up to going to the fair. Mm-hmm. They get to the fair, and dad pulls out money to give to the wasteful siblings so they'll have money at the fair, but doesn't give the saver the equal amount to hey, bonus you up. Gives out 5 more, 10 more to everyone except the one that saved money. Infuriating. That teaches your kids, all of them, the saver and the wasters, the opposite lesson you're trying to teach people about life. And that's like your thing, getting in the club and all that. Like, you get how fucking irritating that is, right? Like, Oh,
That's what's happening with black folks. People are starting to get sick of it. You have a group of people who you give everything to. It's like, I use this analogy all the time. You got 3 kids and you give one of them a lollipop. Well, how are the other 2 going to feel?
right.
The other 2 are going to be pretty pissed off because this little shit gets something and I don't. Or this little shit. We've all had that relative, that little cousin or younger sibling, usually the younger ones, where they get away with shit, or your parents are much nicer to them and they're much more, they coddle them more and they protect them and they're kinder. And you're like, man, you kick my ass for that. Now, little Johnny or whatever, oh, it's okay, buddy. So when it's not fair treatment like that, people are going to get pissed off. And so we're looking at all these programs and money that's going to these people and the way they're treated and the way you have these politicians. Just today, there was the guy who's running against Eric Adams in New York City. He tried to help an illegal sneak out of the courtroom to get past ICE. You had that judge in Wisconsin who was doing that bullshit. You had the politician from Maryland go fly down to Ecuador or El Salvador. What the fuck? When is the last time your state senator flew down to visit your dumbass in jail or come visit you at work? Hey, constituent, let me take you out to lunch. What can I do to make your life better?
Right.
When's the last time they did that? When's the last time a cop said, hey, man, there's a DUI checkpoint up there about a mile. Go ahead, turn around. Get out of here. You have mayors warning the illegals. ICE is coming in town this week. Hide. Here's a list of things that you should do and who you shouldn't talk to. When's the last time they did that? When's the last time they showed up to your school board meeting and said, you know what? I'm looking at these test scores and the condition of these schools. You need to change this shit. When's the last time they're standing shoulder to shoulder with you to make shit right?
Yeah.
Or listen to your concerns to make shit right? But these fuckers,
These politicians that want you working like a donkey, paying all this tax, and then they're just giving all your money away to USA, to every foreign country on earth, and themselves and their relatives and friends. Like, I remember they were like protesting in Australia and in France. People were getting angry that USAID funding to some universities in Australia and France was cut off for their tuition. Why are we paying tuition for foreign students at foreign? What? And you got these dummies, the leftist people marching in the streets, supporting, protesting ICE, protesting Trump, protesting all this stuff. And you have, when did any of these people doing all this USAID shit for everyone but you, American? When did they ever come to your town? Try to fix anything for you, try to save you some money, try to lower your taxes, try to fix up your streets, try to fix up your schools and the violence. They could do every fucking thing for every other person and country on this planet, but not you. And then you march and support them? How stupid are you?
Dude, how many countries you think are paying American citizens tuition? That's so fucking infuriating. Why are we paying for foreigners to go to a foreign college? They're never going to come here and contribute to our economy. What the fuck would we be doing that for?
Tell me they were an immigrant who's lived here for a long time, but still hates America and says their home country's better. That's why you haven't gone back in 40, 50 years. But they're like, home country. And I was telling them about that. It's bullshit. We shouldn't be giving scholarships and things to foreigners. America first. And when we give every American free tuition, if we have anything left, then we can consider it for anyone else, but probably not anyway, because we should pave some roads.
We'll stockpile that shit. Yeah, fuck that.
Free glasses and dental care for poor children before we start paying for Liechtenstein kids to have anything. But I told this immigrant that, and they said, yeah, well, you can afford it, you Americans. Just entitled to us and our money.
Because that's the environment, that's the mindset that we've exported to them. That the fact that we have it, you deserve it, because we built our country up and we built this prosperity.
We didn't build it. We got lucky and we stole it and magic. Hey. We didn't blood, sweat, and tears for 250 fucking years in this country.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I can't say. Well, this used to belong to Mexico. Well, Mexico got their ass whooped and we took it. That's how it happened everywhere.
Mexico owned this for like 23 years, by the way.
For a minute.
Spain owned it well over a century, and then Mexico had it 2 decades, and then sold it, by the way. Mexico sold this land to the United States. So all sales are final, no refunds.
It's been more than 30 days, and I'm sure you don't have the receipt, so you can't return it. Yeah. And if, Mexico, if you feel that fucking strong about it, please form your military and come up here and demand the return of what used to be Mexico, or else. Please, I can't. Or this was indigenous people's land, and they act like it was all, and it was only white people. All the other colored people that were here, they just stood back like, oh, not my problem. All the white people came here, swindled the Indians, either swindled them or they killed them with disease or they shot them, right? And ushered them to more desolate parts of the country. Not that there was a war for hundreds of years where tons of white people got killed and tons of Indians got killed. And they sold some shit too. There were some shady Indians who sold their people out too.
I thought the natives here were just like peaceful, one with nature people that never slaughtered each other or hurt the white man.
Never. They didn't know war until the round eye brought it here. Right. All they did was smoke peace pipes and fucking eat maize.
Right.
That's all they were doing.
And then Paleface showed up and started killing everyone.
Yeah, white people said, "Here, motherfucker," pointed at him over there and kill him. They were like, "Oh, what? We don't kill. We are peaceful people." Right. And the white people was like, "No, fuck that, man. Put that gun up. There you go. Get that son of a bitch in your side." Didn't that feel good, boy?
I can't. Oh, Great Spirit says not to kill.
Great Spirit says, do not kill unless you consume all of that which is dead and pray over. Man, fuck that shit. It's the same thing with, crack in the black neighborhoods that the CIA or whatever left it there. And then they came out like, oh, I guess I'll sell it. Like the Europeans imported murder and savagery to the Indians. They were living in peace until the white man got
They were living
here.
on a rainbow with the bunny rabbit and beautiful birds, and
they were killing the shit out of each other before and after white people got here.
Yeah, when Cortez and the Spaniards got to the coast there in the Yucatan, they found out the Mayans had this little thing they would do, this little cutesy thing the Mayans would do. They'd take, I don't know, 70, 80,000 people on top of a pyramid and cut their hearts out and throw their bodies down.
That's a lot of people.
So
some might say.
So I would say that's not that peaceful. They also, in the pyramids I visited near Mexico City, killed thousands of children, and they killed them by drowning, little kids.
That's
quick and easy. To their god Talak, so Talak would bring them rainwater. So you do what you want to do with that information.
I don't know. I would assume people put up a fight when you try to hold them underwater.
I saw a parallel with that in my mind too. It was like, oh, kill children to get rainwater so you have a better crops and a better world, right? Then I thought about Michelle Williams like getting an Oscar award or a Grammy or an Emmy or something. I'm like, if I didn't have an abortion, I wouldn't have this Hollywood career. And I said to myself, oh my God, it's the same thing.
Demons.
Kill children to have your own selfish prosperity. The devil plays the same trick over and over and over.
By the millions.
Yeah.
And be proud of it and fight.
Right.
Fight for your right to do it. Fight vigorously to keep killing them.
Teotihuacan. That's the pyramids there, yeah. And there's
Teotihuacan.
Some a lot of dead children, a lot of dead people. Yeah, not great. Not great. So they weren't some peace-loving people when Cortez got here.
When Cortez pulled up, when they got on the shores, they were like, silent. However you say that in Spanish. They were
Silencio.
Like, they're like, shh, listen. Kumbaya, my lord. That's what they were doing. They'd sway back and forth. And it was all about community and love and prosperity. And nobody ever died of unnatural causes until the evil Spaniards.
Right.
Showed
Here's
up
1 month ago. Grant Rasha says the Temple of the Sun and the Moon. There's the Temple of the Moon, I believe.
Temple of Murder.
Let me find you the Pyramid of the Sun. No, that was the Pyramid of the Sun. The Pyramid of the Moon was smaller. The Pyramid of the Moon, I think, was this one. I took my family to Mexico City. Wonderful city. Amazing food. It was just awesome. So much history. It was very cool. Went to the Anthropological Museum. It's just so much amazing history. Look at this. A real, I think they said 2,500-year-old fresco. Still a painted wall on one of the pyramid thing, one of the complex in the pyramid.
Damn.
They put a metal awning over it to protect it from the rain and the sun and all that. But yeah, that's paint is 2,000 years old or something like that. Crazy. but it was an awesome place to visit. And we saw this other temple, and it had hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, here. It had, if you look really close, I mean, you feel like you're in another world. Like these giant, like monster, like the I think that's Quetzalcoatl was their feathered serpent god or something like that, carved, and they're huge. You know, you there's some in the museum, and they're giant. These things, you know that.
How did
that
they carve that?
I don't know. The aliens did. I have no idea. Like, I mean, how did they carve it? They had a lot of slave labor.
But I mean, the tools they used, they had like obsidian tools and shit. Obviously, they had something harder than that, and with the precision. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh, you guys should do the movie Apocalypto. Oh my god, one
That's
of
a
my
good movie.
favorites. I did it as a illustrator and a storyteller myself. I did a deep study on that with a guy who was a sort of, I guess, a teacher at the LAWMAN school. The LAWMAN school is one of, you've seen their work everywhere. That is one of the biggest art schools in Hollywood. If you want to design video games and movie and art and learn storytelling, the LAWMAN school is one of the most prestigious elite schools. And I was working with a guy, Abraham Lee, on a comic book like 4 years ago. And he was the art director for this comic book. And he sat us down, me and two other guys, and gave us a 3-hour lesson on the visual storytelling and the color story and everything in Apocalypto. And it's mind-blowing, the stuff that I learned from him.
Directed by Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Great movie. Yeah, we should do Apocalypto. It was awesome.
Oh, speaking of, I remembered another movie I want to do. Maybe the next one, hopefully. But Dredd.
Ooh.
Not Judge Dredd.
The new one with Carl Urban, like 10 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
2012.
Okay.
That movie is a fucking banger. And I think we need something to bring us out of the muck of weird shithole.
Yeah, the movie we did tonight was so bad we couldn't even review it.
Like, I'd rather do Craven or Madame Web. Man, Sony is fucking those movies up. So was it Morbius, Madame Web, and then Craven? All those movies suck shit. I would say probably Madame Web's the worst.
This
Maybe
is right
Madame
there,
Web,
this movie we
Morbius.
saw.
No, but Dredd is cool. It's a great fucking movie.
Okay, I'm going to put this up then. Hold on. Okay. For next week, I'll let you guys pick. Now, I know you guys picked Weird Science last week. The movie was so bad, it's unreviewable. Weird Science. I'm not reviewing it. It's filthy. I don't like that grown woman kissing that 15-year-old boy.
Dude, tonguing him down.
No. So we're going to do Dredd or Apocalypse. Now, I
was like,
Apocalypto.
what the fuck? I want Dredd. You guys better
I
pick
need
Dredd.
you guys to vote for Apocalypto.
Dredd.
We're going to do both of these movies anyway.
So we're just battling for the order.
I guess, yeah, the order, yeah.
We're battling for the order.
Carl Urban was great. Yeah, they should make a sequel to Dredd. It was great. Dredd was very similar to the, I think it was a Singaporean movie or a Taiwanese movie. I don't remember. Southeast Asia. The Raid. Jericho, if you have not seen The Raid, you need to see The Raid. It has amazing martial arts and action, like insane. So Grant, you didn't like Apocalypto. I love Apocalypto. Love it.
I thought it was good. I saw it when it came out, so I haven't seen it in fucking almost 20 years. I think it came out in 06.
Something like that.
I haven't seen it in like almost 20 years.
Well, they're both really good.
At the time, I worked at a radio station, so we did a premiere. So of course, got in for a free.
Cool.
But yeah, Apocalypto, great movie. Very Savage, way back when, man, life was precious.
Yeah, that was something.
Fucking, because, man, like making it throughout the day was.
And the ending of Apocalypto, which I won't spoil for anyone who hasn't seen it, but the final shot in Apocalypto, it goes hard. Like that final thing you see is like, wow, that is an exclamation point on the end of that movie. So you'll have to check it out. Apocalypto is a classic to me.
For sure.
I think it's one of Mel Gibson's best. Love Mel Gibson, so.
Yeah, Mel Gibson, he is obviously a great actor, but man, his directing credits
genius
are amazing.
Genius. Yeah.
Like, man.
You know which
Dang,
one
Mel.
that he won an Oscar for that I'm not crazy about is Braveheart. I think Braveheart is not bad. I think it's just like it's fine though. I don't love Braveheart. I don't know why. It's just whatever, you know.
I think Braveheart was a great movie. I think it's long as shit.
You know what I
But
don't like about Braveheart? I can't suspend my disbelief that it's a movie. It's like the whole time I'm watching, like, this is a Hollywood $1 zillion budget. This is a super high budget movie. This is an Oscar winner, like Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. That's like when I watch it, I just feel how it's such an example of like a great Hollywood movie, but it's like too much. I don't know. It's like dessert being too sweet. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it's
I think I
so
understand what you
Hollywood
mean.
perfection. You know, like I don't know.
But a movie where it has to be that grand. Like, look at all of the extras for the battle scenes.
Right.
You're not going to get that without, huge backing in the costumes. I liked it. I think Braveheart is a great movie, but I think like a very sweet dessert, it should be watched every once in a while. I think like every few years or so, or it's been like 10 years, like Braveheart's going to be cool. Especially, the gratuitous violence. I mean, holy shit. Braveheart was nuts.
Yeah, it was awesome. Oh, speaking of great movies, I'll tell you about the movie I went and saw on Sunday. But I had just about the best Father's Day I've had ever. It was just an awesome day. And I want to hear about yours. But I got to see in theaters for the first time ever Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. They played it for Father's Day around the country at select theaters. And it happened to be playing in San Diego at like 2 different places. So we went, here's how Father's Day and Mother's Day work in my family, just the tradition of the El Taibs. It's like Christmas or a birthday. There's full-on gifts. If it's Mother's Day, mom's getting like 10 gifts, like from all of us. I got amazing gifts from my family. They're such good gift givers. We didn't have breakfast because we were going to an early-ish lunch at 11:30 at Fogo de Chao Brazilian barbecue.
Oh, I've been to one of those.
I ate a Brazilian pieces of meat, dude. It was so
bene.
I didn't have to eat the rest of the day. It was, dude, I ate 8 lamb chops. Do you know how much that costs at the grocery store?
Lollipops.
Yeah,
my daughter was tearing those up. She loved them.
Oh.
But yeah, you just put your sign up if you want them to keep coming. You turn it for if you want them to stop. But yeah, if you can eat it, they're gonna bring it.
But here's the thing: they don't bring the expensive meat out that often. But I've been to Brazilian barbecue like 10 times in my life, and what I didn't know, like the first 5 times, you can ask for the type of meat you want. I thought you just had to randomly take whatever they were bringing around on the swords. But one time I was like, hey, can you bring me lamb chops? And he's like, yeah, how do you like them? Well done, meat. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can ask for the beef ribs? You can ask for whatever? Like, oh, okay. This is a game changer. So I asked for the lamb chops and he brought me. Dude, he gave me 4 at once because it was Father's Day. Oh, I think I ate 8 lamb chops that day, plus all kinds of other meat. It was insane.
You fucking teared up when he brought them. You're like, thanks, man. Fuck.
Thanks, man. I just really appreciate you guys.
It's the best thing, best Father's Day gift ever.
So we ate a
handful
bunch
of fucking meat.
Yeah, we ate a bunch, and then we planned it. We went home for like 2 hours, and everyone took a nap. And then we went to Indiana Jones at like 4 p.m. and saw it on the big screen with popcorn and everything. Big Baby watched the whole movie, except the part where the guy drinks a cup and turns to a skeleton, and the guy gets his head cut off. We covered her face on that. Yeah, I guess covering her face scared her because the music was intense and they were screaming. So then when the lady stopped screaming, she said, "Scary all done? Scary all done?"
But yeah, we're cool. You're good.
We're cool.
Good kid.
And then, she's 2.5. She doesn't understand the movie. And any big car, she calls it a bus. So the army tank, when Indiana Jones is fighting the army tank and he's on the horse, she's telling me a horse running and bus and horse running. And she's like going on and on, telling me about it the next day. So it was such a good time. And then after Indiana Jones, we just came home and relaxed and had a nice evening. I just had a great day. My family's the best. How was yours? How was your Father's Day?
It was great, man. We hung out. We watched a good movie. Surprisingly, it was on Netflix. I was like, what a good movie on Netflix.
What was it?
We watched
Weird Science? No.
Hell, I said it was a good movie. We watched Day Shift with Jamie Foxx. He plays a vampire hunter. And had that dude Brian Atkins in there, that British martial artist. Dude, there's a scene where they're clearing a house man, those fight scene, the fight choreography in that movie was fucking awesome. Went to had pizza from our favorite pizza place.
Ooh,
My daughter baked me a cake. She's like, I wouldn't let anybody help me, Dad. I'd be all by myself.
wow, that's awesome.
And yeah, it was cool, man. We just hung out, kicked it. We went on a walk in the evening through the neighborhood, played some basketball with my son. That's his.
Fuck around and get a triple double.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Your daughter made you a cake. That reminds me. They asked me like 2 weeks ago, hey, what do you want to eat on Father's Day? Like, blah, blah, blah. We'll take you out. You want breakfast? So, well, if we're going out for a big lunch, and they didn't tell me what lunch was, I said, I'll just have a bagel. So I figured I would get a bagel out of the refrigerator and toast it. My daughter made bagels from scratch. She made everything bagels, and she made jalapeno cheddar bagels, dude. So I had a half bagel for breakfast because I wanted room for the Brazilian barbecue. Because you know me, I do not eat like 320-pound Gabe. I now eat like 260-pound Gabe. But I had to leave space. So I only had half a bagel, but it was delish. So,
yeah, and at Fogo de Chao, man, you can just have all fucking meat and veggies if you want.
Yeah.
Like, they'll bring you whatever the fuck you want. Just fucking
I would
load
just
up on that flesh.
Grinding through that place. They had the sausages. They didn't have the soup I love. There's a Brazilian soup called feijoada, and it's like roasted hunks of pork and black beans, and it's so rich. And you put farofa on it, and it's like farofa is, I think, is some root vegetable. They turn into like sand, basically. They toast it and turn it into like little flakes, and you sprinkle it on this like rich, savory, porky, beany stew. Oh, they have it at Brazilian barbecues, but they didn't have it at this one. So,
yeah, you can tell that it's a poor country if they had like root vegetables,
right?
Like fucking real, like inedible shit, and somehow they turned it into something.
Yeah, they found a way. Yeah, that's what you're thinking when you're eating menudo. You think these poor Mexicans are eating cow stomach because that's what they have.
Try it. I don't know. Stomach lining.
If you boil it for 6 hours, you can chew it.
Hey, you know what? It tastes like shit.
Do you like menudo?
I hate it.
I hate the stomach, dude.
It tastes like ass. Smells like ass.
Yeah.
Which basically that's what it is.
You know, there's another version. There's another version of menudo that doesn't use the chopped up stomach. It just uses chopped up roasted pork. It's called pozole. It's delicious. Why didn't you do this in the first place?
But if you're about to be gone all day for 12 hours working, you put that shit on in the morning,
right?
Come back, that shit's tender as hell. Fork tender, as they say. Brisket or shoulder. Right. Some fucked up meat that used to be free, and now they want to charge you up the ass for it because it's our cooking tools have advanced, and we could turn that leather into, succulent pull apart meat.
A succulent Chinese meal.
Dude, a succulent Chinese meal. Hands off of me, sir.
Get your hands off my.
Get your hands off me. Don't touch my penis. Don't touch my penis.
I see you know your judo well.
Well, your judo well. I wish I sounded like that guy. But yeah, man, you get these shitty cuts of meat. Like, look at oxtails. Oxtails are expensive as shit. They used to give them away. My mom said when she was a kid, the butcher would give away the oxtails. But if you throw that bitch in a crock pot all day long, now you got little pieces of roast on a bone.
Might be the best piece of meat on the cow if you crock pot it.
I made beef short ribs with couscous and roasted vegetables. Get the fuck out of here.
That's my favorite dish of all time. I've told you, my dad's oxtail stew. You lightly bread the oxtail, not bread, but you sprinkle the flour on them to help with the crust. Fry them. Then you put them in that tomato sauce, pureed tomatoes, tomato paste, onion, garlic, all the mirepoix, that thing, the celery, carrot, onion. And you're basically making not a spaghetti marinara. There's no oregano, no Italian flavor like that, but it's a red stew. You let that thing go for 4 or 5 hours till it's greasy. It's red and it's orange, glistening grease floating on top. And you put some potatoes in it near the end so they don't fall apart. You serve that on top of couscous. You can serve that to me in a wheelbarrow. I might eat all of it, dude. Okay. And your mouth is coated with the collagen when you eat it. Yeah. If you lick the inside of your mouth, it has that feel of all that grease and collagen. My mouth's watering just thinking about this. My dad makes it so I learned to make it, though, because I don't live near my dad, so I had to learn to make my own. The oxtail, ridiculous, dude. So
you take the fork. If it's not completely falling off the bone, you just take it off of the bone, and you have the two ends of it that have like the collagen stuff on it. You can get off of there.
Yeah.
Man, that perfect bite, the couscous, the veggie.
And the sauce dripping everywhere.
Oof. Oh, man. So good. So
It's
good.
obscene. It's obscene.
Crazy. My mom would make oxtails not with the tomato. It was more like a stew kind of thing, but she would like thicken it up and it'd be like a gravy. So we'd have that over rice or something, but with carrots and stuff that she threw in there. Oh man.
There's a Filipino version called kare kare, and it's oxtail stew like that with the thick stewy gravy, but there's peanut butter in it. And I know that sounds weird, but I know you come from a family of chefs that you know that peanut butter does go with beef. It actually does. And it's the kare kare is good. It doesn't have a super strong peanut flavor, and I always dig into that one at my Filipino buddies' parties. I like that one. So, have you had much Filipino food? I'm sure you have. Being in California, you always run into.
I've had tons of Filipino friends growing up and shit. And
right.
There's always some Filipino person at the office, and they bring in lumpia, which is fucking red donk. So I used to work with this guy named Lopetti, and he is the kind of dude like Lopetti works. All right, that's what he does. He goes home, spends time with his family, he sleeps, and comes back to work. Like I used to fuck with him and tell him he's like Arnold in Terminator 2, where they broke into that car garage and it just shows Arnold staring out the window and you see the sun go down and it comes up. I was like, that's what Lopetti does. He stands by his front door in his uniform, and as soon as the sun comes up, he leaves. He goes, and he had an accent like, hey, what's up? I come to work. Like that dude, he was a worker. If he had a whole team of Lopettis, fuck the productivity. There's gonna be nothing to do. So
take over everything. I can just see it. He gets home, opens the door, walks into his house, turns around and faces the door until the sun comes up, so he can just go right back to work.
Yeah, dude, and a great fucking guy too. Great guy. But yeah, man, that's I forgot where I was going with that. What were we talking about?
We were talking about he worked really hard. Oh, we're talking about Filipino guys bringing good food.
Oh yeah. So his wife would make lumpia, and every once in a while, especially on Christmas or something, he'd bring in just the big, aluminum pans just full of fucking lumpia. Oh my goodness. And so
for those of you out there that don't know what lumpia is, imagine an egg roll, only tastier and meatier, but it's the width of your finger.
Yeah,
skinny little egg
fried. You got a little sauce to dip it in. Come on.
Yeah.
And and you can go to places where they sell the lumpia, so you can buy it by the pound.
Right.
But she would make them and shit, and they're totally fucking delicious. But when I was a young man, I worked at the post office, and so there's a lot of Filipino people that work at the post office. Same with the hospital. But somebody would always bring balut, and I was like, man, what the fuck is that? That is the most disgusting shit on the. Well, I don't know that and Indian street food, but balut is where they take partially.
It's a fertilized egg where the chicken has started to grow inside the egg,
but the beak is still soft, so there's no crunching. Everything is still, it's like kind of cartilagey and shit. And yeah, they have it they make a broth for it and stuff, and they cook them. And then you bust the egg open, and you got this partially developed fucking duck embryo, and you eat it. And if the duck embryo is too old, like sometimes it'll have feathers, and it will have a little crunch to the beak. Man, fuck that. That shit is so gross. And they would just eat that shit, and to them it's delicious. I mean, like fucking apple pie.
That's balut.
Would you fucking eat that?
Never.
No.
Look at that. You crack an egg open, there's a little chicken inside, and you just eat it.
Fuck, dude. And they just munch on that shit like mother's milk. Man, that's disgusting.
Well,
what the fuck? Well, Jericho, some cultures. Yeah, well, that part of their culture sucks ass. Chinese.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Get the fuck out of here. What do we have in America that's like that? We don't have any American food that's that gross.
Now, would you rather eat crunchy peanut butter or balut?
Oh, crunchy peanut butter all day. That's fucking disgusting. Balut.
For the credit of my Filipino friends that I grew up with, they all made fun of and did not eat balut. And I've been to a million birthday parties at their houses. I've never seen balut. So they didn't bring it stateside, apparently.
Lucky you. So, I've seen it. And the shit is horrifying.
That's
we don't have that
not
like
a
American
thing
food.
to eat.
At least everybody brought their good foods from their culture. The pizzas and spaghettis and mandarin orange chicken.
Well, pizza and spaghetti are American, though. They're totally American versions of Italian.
But they have Italian roots.
Sure.
Like, I'm sure what we see as spaghetti and pizza today came from some boopada from fucking who came through Ellis Island, for sure.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like some of those national dishes of countries like chicken tikka masala, the British national dish, is the Indian food. But apparently they don't have that in India the same way. That chicken tikka in England is an English dish.
Hey,
Just like
good
pizza
job.
is not Italian, pizza is American. Even
Good
though
job,
it's based on
England.
Italian.
How the fuck do you have Indian food as your number one dish in Britain?
Well, they did
Fucking
have
dumb
India
gross.
as one of their colonies that they ruled over for
Yeah,
quite a long
India,
time.
not the other way around.
I don't know. They got a lot of Indians there. A lot of
Whatever.
Pakistanis and Indians. I don't know.
Whatever.
We got to ask
But
Matthew Marsden. We got to ask him.
isn't it? But we don't have like. There's no gross. I mean, you have like liver and onions. That's gross. But I mean, it's not a fucking duck embryo. Like we don't have anything in American cuisine. Maybe Rocky Mountain oysters, but then again, I mean, I guess that's just as bad as eating a fucking duck embryo, eating where they came from. I guess eating a bull's nut sack. I guess that
I'm
would
not
be
eating
it.
that.
That's the gross American.
No, wait, you're eating the sack or you eating the nuts? Come on.
Well, you're not eating the bag.
You said you're eating his nut sack. Like you're not eating
No,
the bag.
no, you're eating the contents.
Right.
You're eating the contents of the nuts. I'm sure somebody's deep frying the nut sack too.
Yeah.
Yeah, pickled pig's feet. Yeah, but that's still not as bad as a fucking embryo. Ew.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Rocky Mountain oysters would be America's gross food. But I guess even if you had those deep fried, I mean, we could work through it, you know.
I wouldn't eat it.
But not no fucking duck baby.
You're not eating
DuckTales. Ooh.
that song is way too badass for what it is. You're not eating pig's feet?
I mean, I would before I eat a duck baby.
I went to the Filipino Denny's in Las Vegas. There's a chain of diners in the Philippines called Max's. Or if you're
Called Denny's,
Filipino, you call it
motherfucker?
Max. It's called Max.
Called
And I went with my
motherfucker?
Filipino buddy. We were in Vegas one time, and we ordered crispy pata. Pata in Espanol, and apparently in some Filipino dialects, it means foot, not my hand, but it means like a paw, pata. When I was a little boy, my grandma was putting my shoes on. She said, "Dame tu patas." That means give me your feet, you know. But it's not the real word for feet. It's like a hoof. It's like a jokey thing to say. But we ordered crispy pata, and crispy pata was one of these bad boys.
Yeah.
Pig's foot, breaded and fried. It wasn't bad. I picked around.
If we're going breaded and fried, that's gonna the list of things I would try would grow if you're gonna fucking deep fry them. And yeah, deep fried pig's foot. I'm sure that meat gets tender. Get up in there and fucking do your thing. Yeah, that's not the worst.
For me, England is roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. Here's the thing I don't understand about pudding in English vernacular. Pudding means all kinds of different things. When you're talking in British English, they use pudding for a lot of stuff. Do you know what Yorkshire pudding is? If you had to guess, what do you think it is?
It's bread, isn't it?
Why is it called pudding?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them, but it's not pudding at all. It looks like
it's a big piece of bread.
It looks like a croissant on steroids. Like it's
it's a big
but
old.
It's not pudding like at all. It's not filled with pudding. It's just fucking. I mean,
I ordered Yorkshire pudding with my meat and gravy and all that at this British place, and I was expecting the Yorkshire pudding to be like maybe it was bread with gravy in it or something, and it was just bread. I don't know.
Is this it, isn't it? And that's that's very deceiving to call it Yorkshire pudding. But yeah, roast beef. Like England does have a handful of good British meals, but it's a handful.
Right.
Most of their food is fucking poop. Like we were watching that movie the other day, and they were in England, and they went out for breakfast, and they had the sliced tomato and the beans and toast and the blood sauce.
Oh, the English breakfast. This thing's ridiculous.
Dude, who put that Frankenstein fucking meal together? Were they stoned?
Here's I looked up English brekkie.
What?
You got beans on toast, tomatoes, mushrooms, blood sausage, rashers of bacon, regular sausage, and a fried egg.
That's gross.
What is
Get those fucking beans out of here. Get those tomatoes out of here. That hockey puck out of here. And are those mushrooms?
The hockey puck is blood.
That blood sausage. I get that shit out of here. That goes to the dog in the backyard. And is that fucking mushrooms too?
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here. Throw 2 more eggs on there, a little more bacon, and then we're good to go. Get that fucking tomato shit out of here.
And you know the most offensive part of British people's breakfast is I've seen multiple videos online. They don't know what biscuits and gravy is. It's not a thing over there.
Well, to them, biscuits are fucking cookies, right?
Ugh.
Freaks. No, over here, biscuits and gravy, that's some good shit.
You don't want to have mushy peas with eels?
Oh, if I sure do. Sounds like shit, man. Why do
Eel
why do
gelatin is not a
English people
delicacy.
eat like shit?
Yuck.
England, why do you eat like shit?
I
Why is
remember
your
looking at
food
sandwiches. We had
like
Matthew on the
shit?
channel. Remember? We were looking at
Yeah.
sandwiches,
Shout
and there
out
was
to
a
Matt.
bread sandwich.
No, it was fucking a cucumber and shrimp sandwich. And when I say shrimp, I'm not talking about shrimp salad. I'm talking about a piece of fucking boiled cold, like shrimp cocktail shrimp.
Nope.
A plain shrimp on a piece of bread with a piece of cucumber. I think a little bit of fucking mayo. I'm like, dude, that is a fucking abomination of a sandwich. Let me show you a Sammy. Not that horse shit. But I guess they eat them with their fucking tea and all that.
There is a
Oh,
British
thank you,
restaurant I go to in town here once in a while. I go once a month or every other month, and I will get the Lancashire hot pot. That is like roast beef chunks, carrot, celery, onion, smothered in brown gravy. Then they put scalloped potatoes on top, cheddar cheese, and roll it through the salamander and crisp up the cheese on top. That's delicious.
Oh, it's nice and all that.
It's
Yeah,
meat,
but
gravy,
that's
and potatoes. What's not to love?
That's one meal. They have 3 to 5 meals that they can bring to the fucking culinary Olympics.
They will
And
pay
they're not
for the
even
mushy peas.
like if there was a culinary Olympics, England would get disqualified in the first couple of days. Like you wouldn't get to the semifinals. There's no way England gets to the semifinals. They're certainly not getting to the finals.
Look at
And
this.
the closer you get to the finals, the more Western the countries get.
Do you want to eat jellied eel with mashed potatoes and mushy peas?
No.
There's some eel chunks, what looks like a hamburger steak, a little bit of mashed potatoes, and then they smash up the peas into green sauce.
Hey, who threw up all over the plate?
Who the fuck threw up over here?
Who threw up all over the plate? It looks like dog shit.
Look at this dog shit. It's
No,
green
fucking-
peas. Right,
Hey.
but you got to mash them up and serve them with eels.
Hey, who threw up all over me plate? That looks like fucking baby shit.
Look at this. Now that
Ew.
little pie with beef and carrots, that looks delicious. That
That's
pie.
fucking gross and all that.
But what's
looks
with
like
the
this-
baby diarrhea on the right? The peas.
Hey, lady, let me get your kid's diaper. And they just fucking squeezed it out onto a plate. There you go.
There you go, love.
Fucking new pie there and some mashed potatoes and little baby shit.
Now you're cracking.
Fuck.
By
England.
the way, I love
That's so
green peas.
explaining to do.
I love green peas. And one of the best things about peas is they're not mushy when I get them. They got a little pop to them when you buy them.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
still peas. It's called fresh.
Yeah.
They're not fucking chewed up. I bet there's a big old British guy in the back. Oh,
Here's one though, and
those chew peas.
I'll never back down from this though. Basically, and it's not even all of them, but basically the only people who understand dessert are Europeans and a little bit of Mediterraneans. I go to Asian restaurant, they don't have dessert. The Mexican pastries are terrible. The panaderia or whatever, the Mexican pastry shop, the concha,
Panaderia.
this stuff it sucks.
Oh, like the big pink bread and all that shit.
Right.
It's all
Oh my gosh,
right.
it's terrible.
No, it fucking
I
sucks.
go to a Chinese restaurant, we have a dumpling with red bean paste in it. That's dessert.
That's not
What,
dessert.
what
You
in the
people
hell are you
failed.
talking about? That's not dessert.
Asia failed dessert.
Right. The
But
only
if
people
you
that
go over there and say
it's
pie,
Europe.
you're going to get meat in it. Yeah, but that's like France and Italy.
Germany, all of them, and the thing they use that many of these other countries don't use historically don't use. Everybody uses everything now. But I think why the tradition of dessert doesn't work in the other places, they weren't using milk. They weren't using chocolate. So you're not using milk. Now you don't have butter. Now you don't have cream. Now you don't have frosting. You don't have whipped cream. You don't have all that stuff. How are you making dessert without any of that?
Yeah, but you can make some green tea fucking jello jam shit.
Ooh.
Like some cherry blossom shit. Like, come on, Asia. You guys don't have nothing? Bean paste? Take that bean paste and shove it up your ass. But definitely Western Europe. Yeah. Germany with the chocolate and all that. England, I don't know where the fuck England comes in the dessert game. What's a famous English dessert?
Spotted dick.
I don't like no spot. Even if it don't got any spots on it, it's a penis.
But like, you walk into a French patisserie like this,
dude, come on.
you blow everyone's doors off.
There was what was the name of the one? Parker Lasso. where I used to work in Monterey. There's one right behind us. It's called Parker Luceau. Oh, man,
Okay.
come on, the French. French got the dessert game locked down. Germany, Italy, fucking cannoli. Hooray.
Oh,
They got all their shit over there. The
holy
gelato.
cannoli.
Hey, gelato. Yeah,
Right.
Italy's fucking good to go.
But here's the British dessert. It's spotted dick.
Is that what it's called?
I wasn't kidding. It's spotted dick. It looks like
Dude, who the
a
fuck named
custardy. That looks like custardy, like condensed milk, maybe. And I could be chocolate chips.
Ew,
Let me
why is it
investigate.
erupting out of the top?
It's a spotted
Ew,
dick.
call that thing a spotted dick. No, serious.
Hold on. Let me look. How did spotted dick get its name? The name spotted dick for this traditional British steamed
You know how
pudding.
I got it.
See, this is another pudding. Comes from a dried fruit, raisins or currants that are mixed into the dough, which give it a speckled, spotted appearance. The dick part of the name is an old-fashioned term for pudding,
What?
thought to be a shortened form of the word puddick or puddog, which were earlier terms for pudding. So there you go, spotted puddick.
Fucking disgusting, England. Your fucking flagship dessert has dried fruit in it. You fucking lost.
Now, hold on. Because when you reach for a cookie that's chocolate chip and you pick it up and those are raisins, that's always disappointing. But if I know it's an oatmeal raisin cookie, I love it.
I'll avoid it altogether.
I
No
love
fucking
raisins.
way.
I love
Oh,
raisins. I love the oatmeal raisin cookie. But don't play with my emotions and fool me.
Nah, man. Raisins
But I
and
was-
cookies is fucking gross. Oatmeal
What?
cookies are fucking gross.
No.
Why would you want oatmeal and raisins in a fucking cookie when you
Oh
could
my
put
God, the
so many
texture,
better
baby,
things
the texture.
in a cookie than that?
It's a nice, like, chewy texture. The raisins have just enough acid and the grape juice just to zing in there. It's so good.
Like, hey, what kind of cookie would I eat if I was 85? Oh, yeah. An oatmeal raisin.
Now I get it. A lot of people are traumatized when they reach for a chocolate chip. They bite in. You get two chews, and you're like, "Damn it, these aren't chocolate chips.
I'd be
These are
fucking
raisins."
pissed. I'd be pissed. Do you put a couple scoops of Metamucil in your fucking oatmeal raisin cookies?
I love oatmeal raisin cookies, and I'm never going to
Out of
apologize. I
here.
think it's
Thank
so
you,
good.
Luke.
Now
Raisins
hold
should
on.
not be in a fucking cookie.
Hold on. I will always rather eat a milk chocolate chip cookie, and don't give me that dark chocolate or semi-sweet. I want the milk chocolate.
No, but you're a fan of it's beyond. I mean, if that's all they have, no, you're excited to have an oatmeal raisin cookie, and that makes me question your personality.
I like a good oatmeal. I like a good peanut butter cookie. You like a peanut butter cookie? That's not chocolate chip. It's delicious peanut butter
It's
cookie.
peanut butter
Chunky peanut butter cookie.
that goes in a cookie. I'd have that before I ate a fucking geriatric oatmeal raisin. Ooh, oatmeal. Do you have the oatmeal
look at this.
prune cookie?
Paul Wieslowski says, now this could divide this channel right down the middle. Soft cookies or crunchy?
Soft cookies.
Soft cookies for a soft dude.
No, crunchy cookies are for fucking sociopaths.
Give me the crunchy, the chewy.
Fuck no.
My wife and I are a perfect match on this because she likes the softies and I like the crunchy and the chewy. We make a pan of brownies. I'm eating the whole edge. You eat the middle.
But the whole edge isn't just crunchy though. The whole edge is a perfect mix of crunchy and fucking
Yes,
soft.
it's
So you need the
perfectly
soft
chewy.
too. You
But
need the soft too.
It's got that crust on it and it has more flavor. It has
But
more flavor.
what's bringing it home though? You hit the crust first. What's bringing the brownie home? It's a soft, chewy part.
It's a crunch. Nah, the crunch for me.
Gabe, you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to us.
Carrot cake. What's next? I remember, dude. On Father's Day, after we went to Indiana Jones, after we ate all the stuff at the Brazilian barbecue, we went to there's a A+ French pastry shop near me. Like I get birthday cakes from there for like 10 years for different family members, and I'll go pick up croissant in the morning. And this is like real deal, real butter, real flour, homemade. And I got a piece of carrot cake from there. Ridiculous. I love carrot cake though.
Yeah, dude. In the right hands, with a thick buttercream fucking frosting. Yeah, piece of carrot cake. I'm down for that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end the poll for the movie. It looks like we're doing Jericho doing Dread. Looks like we're doing. I gotta go find the poll. Where did I hide it? Did you check your ass?
Yeah.
Okay, Apocalypto lost. We'll do Apocalypto in 2 weeks. We'll do Dread next week and poll. And this was tonight's review of Weird Science. The movie's atrocious. I refuse to really review it. Sorry. I did not know how disgusting that movie was. Let's see. Ask a question.
Piece of shit.
Cookies. Cookies. Soft
Or
because I
disgusting.
am a wimp.
Soft or disgusting? What are you gonna pick? Yeah, fucking right. Crunchy cookies.
Learn how to spell, Gabe.
I mean, if you got a glass of cold milk, I guess I'll fuck with a crunchy cookie. But in a perfect world, give me that soft bitch.
Okay. I misspelled things and I didn't capitalize things correctly. I don't care.
Nice.
Hold on. Oops.
Nice.
Okay. Here's the poll. We need an answer to this. Cookie. Soft because wimp. Big wimp. Crunchy chewy because I'm a man.
That's bullshit.
Look at that. Come on. Come on. Ooh, winning already. Come on. Let's see. Let's see who wins this. Oh no. Got a bunch of softies in the audience here.
Bunch of smarties in the audience.
You with your creamy peanut butter and your
Bunch of
soft cookies. Wait, are you
bunch of
eating
smart fuckers.
Are you eating Gerber singles? You're just
Actually,
eating mush?
it's Gaber.
Do you like mushy
It's
pain?
Gabel. It is actually Gabel.
Now
French
here's what we
people
gotta
say it.
know. Do you like your spotted dick plain, or do you like it with this white cream erupting all over it?
I liked it with the white cream in it, and then when they bring it to the table, I squeeze it.
It's like a
And it
chocolate
comes
lava
out
cake
of
with
the
they
top.
fill it with custard instead.
Yeah, and I drink it when it comes out of the top. It's a fucking dick.
Look at this.
Come on,
Banana bread with
man.
chocolate chip cookies. Weird but good. Weird but good, yes. Carrot cake is just an excuse to eat cream cheese frosting. How dare you? I feel personally attacked by this. I feel exposed.
I mean, yeah,
This is 1,000% correct. Yes, it's
That's an accurate description.
Yes,
it's merely a
you've got me
vehicle.
right. Yes.
It's merely a vehicle for cream cheese frosting. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Okay. Since we've devolved into food as per usual on this show, where do you come down on? You're at Disneyland, you are at Knott's Berry Farm, you are at Six Flags, and for only $7, you can make this yours today. The chocolate covered banana.
No, thank you.
That is a big no for me.
Not a fan.
I'll be like that guy in American Idol. That's a no for me, dog.
This is a little pitchy, dog. No,
Yeah.
man, I'm not into phallic foods. So no, thank you. It looks like a fucking dick. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. What happens
like
you get down halfway down there and you go like put in your mouth like a cock?
Grant Rocha said, "Drop the chocolate banana in the swimming pool."
Yeah, get out.
Everybody has to
Turd.
get out.
Sir.
Or the $30 chicken leg. That is one of the most disappointing things of all time. The turkey leg, chicken leg thing, whatever. Because it's always tougher than leather. I got one once after seeing them for years. It's a hunk of meat. How bad can it be? It was awful. Awful. It's like trying to
And I
chew
know
on a-
I know it's a theme park and stuff. Things are jacked up. Prices are jacked up. But it's relatively simple and you're paying a lot of money for it. Can I at least get a good chicken leg?
Can you just put it in the smoker so it's tender when I eat it?
Please. I know you guys can afford a fucking Traeger.
Right.
Have an army of Traegers back there. Fucking
Ooh, Brian Knapp is speaking my language. Always a fan of German chocolate cake. I love German chocolate cake with the coconut on it.
And you guys would have been Nazi sympathizers. That
Hey,
cake is
how dare you?
disgusting.
Uh,
Coconuts? Get the fuck out.
but I prefer red velvet now. Heather says they cook the turkey legs in an old shoe. Wrong, Heather. You're almost right. The turkey legs are actually old shoes. That's what they are. They just make them look
If you
like
look close, you'll see the laces.
If you look close, it's a pair of wingtips with a bone shoved in it.
But slightly more tough than an
How's the
actual
cookie poll going? Damn, I'm losing that one. Oh no, I'm winning.
Yeah,
I'm
you
winning.
are. Fuck yeah, you are.
I'm winning. I'm winning.
Oh, dude,
I thought I was losing.
You
I
guys
didn't
are
have my
fucking
glasses
crazy. The fucking
See, people like the
oatmeal
chewy, crunchy cookie. It's better. It's better.
raisin. Oatmeal raisin. Now this.
You know what I love? I would like a crunchy oatmeal raisin cookie.
Ew. That'll open up a fucking tear in our dimension if you do that.
It's the tongue of the shoe, to be precise. The roasted turkey leg.
The tender part. It's the tender part of the shoe.
Oh, look at this. Heather doesn't like the German chocolate cake, and the red velvet is disgusting.
Good job.
You know the red velvet? What flavor? You probably like red velvet. Think about this. Close your eyes. And this is factually true. You can look this up. Red velvet is not a flavor. Red velvet is chocolate. It just has a bunch of red food coloring in it. But it is that's actually chocolate cake. That's all it is, red velvet. It's a trick they're playing. I didn't know that either. I looked it up. I'm like, what flavor is red velvet? It's like, oh, it's chocolate with red food coloring.
Yeah.
So
I remember in high school in the late 90s, they had Burger King had blue ketchup.
Uh-oh.
And it was such a mindfuck. You swore it tasted different because it was like a very vibrant, like neon blue and shit, but it was ketchup. And I remember I tried it once and I was like, I can't do it. It's too much.
Paul Wiskowski, sorry, killed your name. RFK is going to ban the red velvet cake. Yeah, that's true.
All
that's
of
true.
it.
We're going to have like pale, muddy red velvet.
Yeah, that's fine. But he also, on a serious note, he's looking at banning or at least cutting back pharmaceutical commercials.
We are one of like only 2 countries in the world that's legal. Us and what? New Zealand?
Roy? And Australia. Clary.
Wait, let me try and do an Australian accent because I never remember what it sounds like, and then I just do this weird British thing. Hold on. It seems like they're going to ban the pharmaceutical commercials from the TV. What is that? What is this accent that I do? It's horrible.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a name for it.
I don't know. It's not Australian, I'll tell you that.
Crikey.
Right.
Yeah, man. So that'd be cool.
Isn't it?
So that's and it didn't seem like that back in the day. Like there were all these drug commercials on TV. It was just like products. Now it's like, ooh, something wrong with your penis. Well, now there's gonna be something wrong with the rest of you when you hear these side effects, dog. But no, I'll just have a broken whatever instead of all that other shit that's gonna happen. So that would be nice to not see drug commercials. The worst commercials are the AIDS medicine commercials. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's weird stuff. Heather likes white cake with white buttercream frosting.
Racist.
I'm sensing a theme around here. So,
wow.
Ramdog says, speaking of tongue, you like cow tongue. Taste is fine, texture is horrible. I'll tell you my one experience eating tongue. I went to the world famous Cantor's Deli in Hollywood. It's where the rock stars hang out. It's a famous place right there on Fairfax, right by Sunset, right in Hollywood. And I would go there when my daughter would go do stand-up comedy and improv comedy and all this stuff, and I'd go eat at Cantor's because it was the Hollywood thing to do. I'm like, you know what? I'm at a Jewish deli restaurant. I'm going to try the tongue because I've heard about it forever. It's beef. It's a muscle. It really just does taste like beef.
Low and slow.
It doesn't feel good. It was gross, dude. It grossed me out. You can't help but know that you're eating a tongue. I didn't eat most of it. It was gross. I thought I could eat it, but it was not.
Do you have something that's not so tonguey?
Yeah. I felt like it was trying to kiss me the whole time.
You didn't look at the sign. This place is called Tongues, Tongues, and Tongues.
Yeah.
Everything's tongues, you fucker. Look at your drinks. It's tongue soda. No.
Back in 1996, there was a breakthrough in science called Olestra. It was fat, but you couldn't digest it. So you could eat all the fried foods you wanted, and you wouldn't get any of the fat. This is back when everything was backwards, and they said that fat was bad for you, but carbs were okay. We now understand the opposite is true. You should eat a lot of fat and very little carbs. Anyway, Olestra could cause what they called, in their own writings, anal leakage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lay's wow chips. Yeah, you're going to be saying wow when you get the leakage from that.
Dude, nothing is better for a first date than some anal leakage.
Yeah?
Why do you keep going to my bathroom? Because my ass is leaking over here, lady.
I saw those new chips. I saw a story on the internet where a lady was on a first date with a guy. And, you know, it's the internet. People could totally make this shit up just for comedy. She was on a first date. She liked the guy. Everything went great. And all of a sudden, she got the poops. And she had to go bad.
Uh-oh.
She dropped a deuce and a half.
The can't wait poops.
Yeah. She dropped a deuce at his apartment, and it wouldn't flush.
Oh,
so now this is the part that makes me think, is this really happened, or is this just internet writing to make me laugh?
Oh. I'm sure it's happened to somebody.
But hold on. She reaches in the toilet and grabs it and goes to throw it out the window.
What do you do?
Hold on. It gets better. Should
What are
she
you
throws it out the window,
doing?
it must have been somewhere cold where the person had double paned windows
Oh my
and the poop
God.
fell between the two windows. So now it's fallen 2 or 3 feet and it's just there behind the glass and there's nothing you can do about it. So if this story is true, I feel very sorry for that woman.
Hey, memories, huh? Memories. Holy hell. That's all bad.
So yeah.
Throw that.
That's,
Don't ever throw the Duke, people.
Isn't a deuce and a half a vehicle?
Throw the
That's why I
Duke.
said that. That's a good catch. A deuce and a half is a World War II vehicle. I think it was one of the trucks we had or something. So
Well, you want to drive one. You don't want to drop one.
yeah, you don't want to drop one, drive one instead.
Not on a date.
Could you imagine you go on a first date and you like clog someone's
Whoopsie.
toilet or you overflow it or some horrific thing? What do you do at that point?
Well, I mean, if you guys stay together, that'll be a fucking
That's a
hilarious
real
story.
funny story. Yeah.
Hilarious, but what you got to go
Oh,
through to
your
get that
father.
story? What you got to go through to get that story is something else.
Yeah. So
That's hilarious, though. But if you don't stay together, then it's just gonna be a fucked up story he tells his friends.
it'd be worse if you worked with this woman and then
Oh.
like you broke up. She's gonna tell every girl at work. She's gonna tell them all.
He fucking clogged my aisle.
He fucking shit in my apartment.
They shit everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Everywhere
That
had
was
shit on it.
so disgusting.
Everything had shit on it. It's so gross. And I like cleaned it all with my hands.
Ah.
Ew.
If that poor lady really threw a turd between 2 window panes, oof,
That's something else.
that is some Olympic level embarrassment.
That's legendary. There's on this radio show, like they have those pranks and shit. And this guy, he was picked on by this guy in school, and it was like fucking merciless, like beating him up and fucking teasing him and the internet bullying and all these terrible things that this asshole would do to him. So he ends up going on this like dating website and stuff, and he finds this woman, and he's starts like a fucking relationship with her and stuff, and then figures out who she is, and it's his bully's mom.
Oh,
And so
someone else is gonna get bullied now.
yeah, I'm gonna bully that punane.
Bully
It's-
them butt cheeks.
So he starts beating the brakes off of this dude's mom, and she's falling in love. And the radio thing was, I'm going to call and confess my love to my, crush or whatever. And so calls this dude up, and he's like, hello. And they're like, hey, yeah, we're so-and-so from blah, 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 wacky 94.2.
Beaver and the chainsaw in the morning.
Yeah, honk, 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 whatever. And we have, let's call her Tina. We have Tina here. You know who Tina is? He's like, oh, yeah, she's beautiful. We have a great time together and stuff. She's a really good chick. Oh, my God, thank you, Tommy. And he's like, they're like, Tina, what do you want to tell Tommy? Well, Tommy, like doing galley and stuff, like everything like, it was like on Valentine's Day, some bullshit like that.
Oh,
And I
boy.
want you to like be my man or whatever. And I'm like, wow. And he goes, is this for real? And they're like, yeah, this is for real. This is, wacky Johnny and Bob and honk honk. And he's like, no bullshit. Like, for real? Yeah, dude, this is for real, man. Blah, blah, blah. And he starts fucking laughing. He's like, oh my God, no. And they're like, what? Like, what are you laughing at? And he's like, is your son's name, so-and-so? She's like, yeah. And he's like, my name's blah, blah, blah. Your son is a piece of shit. And he used to fuck with me in school. And he's like, I've been banging you, blah, blah. I'm going to tell him he's going to kick your ass. And the coolest thing, he was like, go ahead and tell him. He's like, I'm a black belt and whatever. He's like, I'll fuck your son up. He's like, tell him to mess with me again. She's like, oh my God. And the people were just like, oh shit, dude. So he was dropping the ding dong on his bully's mom. That's the best.
That is some revenge served body temperature.
That's served 98.6.
Yeah.
Steaming. A few inches of it.
And that's what you get when you listen to Beaver and Gooch at the Drive Time Power Hour.
Ow, that's my gooch.
I'm the Beaver, and he's the Gooch.
Hey, I'm the gooch. You get both of us, Beaver and the gooch, on your drive home at 102.3. The meat.
Yeah, 1023 The Means.
The meat. Something's always roasting here. Join us tonight at 10 p.m. for the spit roast. Oh, both ends? That's right.
I like the love dedications on the radio station. This one goes out to Darlene. I just want to say I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you, and I want you back, baby.
Oh, dude,
Although we got to the end. They start playing some ballad or whatever
Oh,
after the
yeah,
guy.
they know what's up. It's a formula. The best ones are what is it? Slow jams.
Slow jams on 102.3.
Was it Love Jam? No, Love Jams. And it's this dude named R-Dub, and he's been doing it for like 20 some years. He has a whole studio set up in his house. But Love, how's it called? Not Love Jams. Sunday Night Slow Jams. That's what it is. And it's broadcast all around the country. You know, it's every R&B station or whatever has Sunday Night Slow Jams, and it comes on, I don't know, from like 6 to 10 or whatever. But 99% of the calls, you know, hey, call and leave a message on Love Jams for the person you love. Boop. Hey, this is, you know, Tanya from New York. Hey, I want to give a shout out to my man, Little Monster Murderer. He's at Rikers Island. I love you, baby. I'll be waiting for you. Boop. This is so-and-so from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to say what's up to my man, Little, you know, fucking stab face. He's not home right now, but I'll be waiting for you. Dude, it's
How is Stab Face tuning in? He gets the he's radio.
Yeah, they get a radio. Dude, all these prisoners are like sitting there waiting to hear their fucking
okay, so you worked at a radio station for a while. I love radio. Let me ask you this. When they do those promo things, it's, you know, like Taco Tuesday, and all the sound effects and the pitch change and the slow it down Sundays. Who is the person doing this schizophrenic editing at every radio station in America? Who does that? Is it an intern? Is it a service? You buy these weird things? You know what I'm talking about? The promos where it's all sound effects and pitch change and like, I don't know. Who does that?
No, it's not an intern because you're not going to trust an intern with that unless you have this fucking prodigy.
Okay.
But chances are an intern, and somebody's getting paid for that. Somebody's getting paid to fucking edit these commercials. So they'll have like an engineer or something. If it's just like some generic shit, they'll get the DJ's voice, you know, for the recognition, like it's a morning show or whatever. But yeah, you'll have somebody in the studio, you know, honk, honk, oh God. They put all that shit in there. To one of the production studios. But it's all done in-house. But yeah, you'll have an artist come through, and they'll just get a sheet of paper. And let's say you got 15 DJs at your radio station. This is Jericho Green. You're on the air live with Gabe El Taib on 102.3 The Meat. All right. Hey, this is Jericho Green. You're on the radio with blah, 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 102.3 The Meat. You got to read all of them. Right. You have to read all of them like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your fucking personality is, that's how you fucking people. So, yeah.
Well, I hope little Stab Face gets out. I heard he was going up to the parole board again.
Probably not. He's probably not going to make it. He's probably going to be in there for a few more Sunday night slow jams. But I guarantee you, if you look, like if you're ever in the car on a Sunday night, try to remember this. I'm sure you can look up and find what radio station in your area has it. And I guarantee you, 99.9% of the calls, the dedication is going to be chicks to their fucking man locked down somewhere. With another guy who's probably on top of him right now, fucking they're spooning, listening to you.
This is Cassandra. I just want this for my vato, little Chewy. When you get out, I'm holding it down for you.
Yeah, he's in court ground right now, but okay, I'll be here when you get out, boo. I love you.
And don't be stupid.
Yeah, you have mi corazón, baby. Yeah, man, it gets crazy. I had a dude one time. Go ahead.
He says, Beaver and the Gooch will be at the AM/PM giving out meat smoothies under a pop-up tent.
Suck it. He probably will, too. With a little fucking wheel out there for you to spin, and you get some free radio station stickers.
Grant Ross said,
shit like that.
They'll be giving away free stickers, free concert tickets, a free T-shirt.
The same voice.
Out to the hot ladies, though.
Ooh.
Here's another thing about talk radio that I hate because it's not true, but it's part of the culture. A woman on radio is always hot. You can't see her. So instantly when you hear the female voice, everyone's like, ooh, and making the innuendos and they're sexualizing. And it's like, I don't know what she looks like, but you guys sure are hungry for this lady. I don't know. But did you notice that whenever there's a female voice, like, ooh, Kristen, where you calling from?
With the female DJs at the radio station I worked at, there were no ugly ones. but definitely it was like that with the listeners most of the time.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah,
Like,
this is
yeah,
Brenda
8,
calling out. Ooh, Brenda. You sound
seven
sexy.
to 8 times out of 10, you're gonna be like, oh, oh fuck. I remember when I was on the air on the weekends, it would be, you know, hey, we're giving away tickets to blah blah blah, or come get your new CD, your new album for so and so, dropping today. And like, yeah, you want to come by the station and pick it up? Yeah, I don't live too far away. I'll come by. I'm like, cool. And, you know, not that I'm thinking to fucking mac on this chick or whatever, but it was definitely like you hear him, it's like, oh, hey, all right, yeah, I'll be there. And you're like, so you automatically have this picture in your mind. And I look through the people and I'm like, what the
I remember, you know, Larry King from CNN, the great, you know, he was a radio host. He was a TV host, Larry King, rest in peace. I remember him telling a story. He was a radio host in New York or Chicago back in the 30s or the 40s. And some woman called him like at midnight and said, you have the sexiest voice. Come on over and ravage me or whatever. So he said he took a record that was like an hour or longer, put it on and drove to her house and banged this lady, and then came back and the record was just about done.
Yep.
What a life.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I've definitely, you know, because you can move, like you can't put songs in because people just think, you call up and ask for a song. Sure, I'll throw it in, even though this is like an R&B station, but you want to hear some rock or some song that no one's ever heard of. Like there's a flow, there's a feng shui to the music. There's a formula. You can't just throw random shit in there that people want to hear. But you can move songs around. You can't add songs, but the songs you have in there, you can move them. Like, because one song might have a long outro and the one song might have a long intro. So if you put them together, now you can do a 45-second talk break. And I can record that and I don't have to be there. So I can go, whatever, I can go get something to eat. You know, back then I'd go, you know, smoke a blunt with somebody. So one time, one of the interns came and they hit me up. They're like, oh, I'm outside. Let's smoke a blunt. I was like, all right. So I did. I put it in. So I had like 45 minutes of just music. I recorded my talk breaks and shit and put them in, you know, in the strategic spots, and then I bounced the one outside. So we twist one up and we're smoking and we're talking. And I got, you know, my ear to the radio to listen to make sure everything's firing off, no dead air. Cardinal sin. That would be like you turning in a project with a blank page.
Right.
That's just a no-no. Like, what the fuck? No way. So dead air is a cardinal sin. You will get a call from the program director in a hot second for that. So I'm talking and I'm listening and the song comes on and I'm like, hey, this is the song that I'm supposed to talk after. Cool. Oh, shit. So I fucking run in there. I swipe my card to get in. I run. I go around the corner, go in the studio. I get in there. I look at the computer and I have 10 seconds before I talk. Wow. So I have to glance up at the paper because there was some concert going on. I have to glance at the paper. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This artist is going to be there. This is when I have the tickets ready. Listen for this song. And, you know, in your mind, you can go over quite a few things in a few seconds. So I'm like, blah, 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 thinking what I'm going to say. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Boom, that was so-and-so. Bing, 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 bing. This concert coming up. Make sure you get your tickets. Be caller number 19. Listen up for this song. When you hear this song, make sure you be the caller. You know, blah, blah, blah. It's CAIN. Boom, went to commercial. Flawless. And nobody would ever know that 15 seconds before that I was outside, you know, fucking. I
went to a radio station one time only. It was like San Diego sports radio station. I told you, Jay Moore, the comedian, did his LA-based 570 AM 10 years ago. He's so good, Jay Moore. That was the best radio show ever. Stupid ESPN ruined that, or Fox Sports, or someone ruined that. But Jay Moore was going to do stand-up in San Diego on a Friday, Saturday night. So he came to San Diego early, and instead of going to the LA station to do his sports radio show from 9 to noon, he just did it here in San Diego at an affiliate. And he just said on the air the day before, if you want to come in studio, email my producer at blah, blah, blah. So I just emailed. And me and Minnie and one other fan sat in the control, like the room he was in, not the control room, but like sat 3 feet away from Jay Moore while he was just going on and improvising and making us laugh. And then we would see how it worked. It'd be break. He'd go outside. He'd have a smoke. He'd talk with us. It was really fun. Just hung out with him for like 3 hours. And gave my daughter some stand-up comedy pointers.
And what a lesson, you know, and you would think such a huge show, so many people listening. I'm not going to email them. They probably get 100 emails. No one's.
You can never think that way in life. Always think you're going to win. Always.
There were three people in there. That shows you how many people talk themselves out of it because they figured,
Right.
there's a bunch of people. Fuck
Right.
that. No way, do it. Especially to be in the midst of somebody who, if that's what you're interested in, who is a master, who is an expert in what you want to do. Definitely take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Fuck that,
I don't understand any other way. That's just how I look at everything in life. It's like, because I do some pretty big stuff with my career and my work and all this. And I've had people ask me, how do you do that? And I'm just like, you just do it. Like, what do you mean? How do you do it? You're allowed to do things. It's a free country, man. You can just do stuff if you want to. I don't know. Some people get weirded out and they can't see how you can just do shit. Like, I don't know. Jay Moore said, if you want to come on the air, then call me. Or email me.
I for sure would have done that. I for sure would have done that.
Yeah, he said to do it, so I did it. Like, what's not to understand here?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find. I'm scrolling through family photos. I'm gonna find it though. I know I'm gonna find it.
And when you meet people like that, people who are famous or people you've been a fan of, celebrities and all these other things, the more, because you'll notice when they do meet and greets and stuff, they make it quick. Come in, take your picture, shake hands, keep moving, because they don't want to lose that celebrity. They don't want you to lose the little fucking that are around the celebrity when you see them, so they keep it fucking moving. But when you hang around with them, you learn that it's a regular.
This is in 2014. Just
Jay Moore, he's hilarious, man.
Like it's nothing, And my daughter has braces. She's a high schooler there, and that's my view. I'm sitting at one side, and there's Jay Moore and Minnie sitting at the other thing, and we just sat in with him for 3.5 hours. It's great. It was awesome. I always took her to stuff like that. Now she's a professional.
She looks hella young too.
She's a kid there. She's 16 or 17, and that's just how. I don't know. People always like, how do you do this? How do you do that? It's like, you just fucking do it. What do you mean? How do you do it? Let me grab 2 things. We're gonna get out of here in a minute, but I got to promo some stuff that you're gonna love. It's right behind me over here. Hold on. I don't know if I showed this last week because I think I got these in the mail on Wednesday. As you know, I am a comic book writer, creator, artist, all that good stuff. The Unstoppable Tyrus is coming. He's unstoppable, guys. It's in the name. He's coming. But this exists. Look at this. 120 pages, graphic novel, Empyrean, Earth Illuminated. If you love old, good Star Wars from the 70s and 80s, I have it right here for you. These are proof copies that I printed up. These are the exact same materials and qualities of the ones you're going to buy and crowdfund in July. We're going to launch a crowdfund for this book on my birthday, July 24th at Comic-Con. It's going to be awesome. But it exists. It's done. I take the risk. I want you guys to crowdfund me, the printing, the production, the mailing, and all that. But I took the risk up front. Bet on myself because I'm that good at this. I bet on myself so that way you will get this in a timely manner. You will not wait 4 or 5 years, like some crowdfunds, to get a book that is of a dubious quality when they eventually get it. I'm an outstanding writer. Jericho, one of these is going in the mail to you already tomorrow. I printed.
Yeah, my son asked about it.
It's coming to you. You guys can read it. We're gonna have 2 covers. This is my cover that I drew, and then Akion has his own cover. It wasn't ready when I went to press on this. So when we do the actual crowdfund, you can get Akion's cover, you can get mine. We're gonna have T-shirt, probably posters, stuff like that. It's gonna be awesome. So this is done. It exists. This is proof that it exists. That's the way I like to do business. I see so many things in crowdfunding where people take all this money from customers, trusting them, betting on them, and then they just, I don't want to say rip them off, but they fuck it up and they don't deliver the goods. And that's such disrespect. Terrible customer service. This is something I did the other day. We are getting closer and closer. If you love The Incredible Hulk, Ninja Turtles, Avengers, if you love classic superhero action, this is from the mind of me. This is from my mind. And Tyrus, the great Fox News commentator, the unstoppable Tyrus. There he is, even with his tattoos, fighting this winged beast. He's got a sidekick that's an orangutan. There's an evil goat man. There's an evil hawk. There's a woman with a bow and arrow. There's a beautiful Farrah Fawcett that's his ex-girlfriend that has now dumped him. This is a great story. If you love Indiana Jones and the tone of that, Dean Cain, All-American LAWMAN, the way I do that fun, crazy action where it's got a little bit of humor in it, not too much humor. Humor's like salt, just a pinch. You watch the Marvel movies, way too much humor. You guys are itching for action and adventure. You want science fiction. You want James Bond, like my Dean Cain stuff. I've got it for you, baby. And I take the risk up front. I make the books. So many people that make comics, they take all the money from you guys and then like, hey, we'll see if they make the book or not. We'll see if they make it this fucking decade. I don't do that. I would never do that to you guys. So I want you to back this. The Unstoppable Tyrus, it'll debut after Empyrean. Empyrean's going to be on my birthday, July 24th. And I want you guys to get it. I need you guys to get it because I need you to be entertained. I need you to have fun, and you're going to be inspired and uplifted when you read this stuff. I don't put any gore, any cussing, any sex, but it's fully for adults. It's not just for little kids. Little kids, it's actually for adults, and it's safe for children. That's the way I make my products. Just like the 80s Star Wars, the 80s Indiana Jones. It's for grown-ups, but little kids can watch it. You don't have to worry there's something horrible. Isn't this gorgeous, though? I think this cover's outstanding.
Oh, it's awesome.
I had so much fun. I made a video of myself working on it the other day, and I'm going to post that to my YouTube soon. So having lots of fun, and I want you guys to get all that. Go to bigmancomics.com, get on the mailing list, because if you get on the mailing list early, you might find out some other stuff about what I'm up to early and be able to maybe take advantage of some things early. I don't want to say anything. It's the reason there's a mailing list. Bigmancomics.com, you get on the mailing list, okay? We're going to be, you're going to be starting to see this stuff everywhere. We're waiting until after the 4th of July because, Comic-Con's not until the end of July. So let's see. I'm going to get it because the blonde girl looks like my daughter. Well, you must have a pretty daughter. Jeez, I hope she's an adult when I said that. Tell me she's a fucking adult.
Yeah, right. Like, damn, she's hot. Oh, what?
I didn't say she was hot. I said she was
What?
pretty, which can apply to any age. So you can say, "Oh, that's a pretty little girl." You can say that. That's totally fine.
You can't say hot. That's fucking crazy.
Okay, she's 29. I'm in the clear. There you
You're
go.
good. In
I'm
that
golden.
case.
Okay. Well, in that case,
let me tell you about-
let me start talking like a
let
sailor.
me start all over. Yeah.
Do you do all the artwork? No. I hire my friend to draw. I draw. I got about 4 or 5 artists I work with. There's only 2 illustrators at my company, me and my buddy Akion. We do all the drawing. Then I have 3 different colorists I work with, and I have a color assistant. He doesn't color. He does a technical color separation thing. I do the word balloons, and I do all the graphic design. Like I design the logos and all that because I actually have a degree in graphic design. That's what my degree is in. I went to art school and got a degree in visual arts with the emphasis in graphic design. That's why I make cool fucking logos. So, and then I do all the word balloons. So when you open the book and the characters are talking, you see those white balloons with the words. I do all that in Adobe Illustrator. So I know how to do all this stuff. I have a lot of fun doing it. So Big Man Comics, please come out to Comic-Con. We're going to have a big party. My buddy John owns all these badass restaurants in San Diego, and we're going to do it at one of his awesome pizza places near the Comic-Con. We're going to do that again. We're going to have some pretty famous entertainment YouTubers there like we did last year. They're very excited to come. We have no official announcement until after July. We've agreed on all the advertising and announcements, but it's going to be a great, great time. You guys are going to love it. So thank you for all the support. Follow me on X. I'm Big Man Comics. Follow me here. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the like and all that, and share this out. Everyone watching right now, share this video. Just click share it to Facebook, whatever. Please share it right now. And then on Instagram and Facebook, I'm Gabe Taib. You see how to spell it right down there. And then on TikTok, which I've only made 4 TikToks. That place is weird, but please follow me there. It's Big Man Comics 1. Anything you want to promote, Jericho, before we get out of here?
I'm putting shit up every day. I put a video up earlier. I'm going to put a video up after we sign off. And just, keep looking out. Google my name. That's where you'll find me everywhere. Same name, all the platforms. And just don't watch Weird Science.
Do not watch Weird Science. Kelly LeBrock can't save this movie.
No.
Her pretty face is the only good thing about this movie.
Her beauty only dulled the pain of this movie just a little bit.
Right.
Like if the pain was at a 9, she brought it down to like a 7.75.
Right.
Still pretty painful.
Yeah. Horrific movie. She's 24, kissing a 15-year-old. That's not.
Kissing him. Even just a kiss on the cheek would have been like, yo, hey, buddy. That would have been too much. But what she was doing, I hope she was handcuffed when they cut. Yeah. Holy shit. Just imagine if it was a 24-year-old man kissing a 15-year-old girl like that.
Right.
Blah.
Yeah. I didn't pick up. I told you I sort of halfway watched this movie like 5 years ago, like falling in and out of sleep. But I saw that yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute. She's really
same with Dirty Dancing.
Right.
He was 22. She was 16. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, pull up.
I've never seen Dirty Dancing. Does he kiss her in that?
Yeah, like I don't know if he kisses her, to be honest. I assume he does by the way they're dancing with each other.
I mean, the movie's called Dirty Dancing.
It's called Dirty Dancing. Yeah, it'd be fucking dirty. You pull up in your convertible in my driveway and honk the horn for my daughter, and you're 22 years old.
Something's going to be dirty It's gonna
I
be
bet
you
you.
if I leave you as a stain on my
Yeah.
driveway. That's what's gonna be dirty.
I bet when you honk your horn, my daughter won't be the one running out to meet you in the driveway. You fuck. Guarantee you that.
All right, guys. It was a
Shit.
blast. We did a Bizarro review of the Bizarro movie Weird Science.
You
And
deserved it.
every Monday through Friday, do I have to say every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to noon Pacific, come join me live as I make stuff like this live. You can watch me draw comic books. I might color them sometimes live and just talk, ask questions. The chat's fun to hang out in. Let everyone you know about that. It's a place to get to know me. I get to know you guys. It's a lot of fun. I'm hanging out making artwork live, 11 to noon Pacific, right here, Monday through Friday. And we will see you next Tuesday night for Double Impact Dread.
Yeah.
Starring not Stallone's Dread. We're talking about the other Dread from like 10 years ago.
Carl Urban.
I am the law. Not that one.
You won't hear any of that. There's no Armand
Yeah.
DeSanti in this one.
Bye-bye.
So glad.